Brand disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by individuals on this platform, the callers plus invited guests, are their own. The information you hear does not reflect the overall views of all parties associated with this brand. We encourage everyone to research all things heard live or via archive for edification purposes. Discretion is advised.
Don't touch that dial. You're now listening to Debate Talk Radio.
Help keep the show on the air. If you want to help, you can send your donation through PayPal. The email is debatetalkforyou@gmail.com or through Cash App, $Sal Showtime. Thanks for your support.
My special guest. But let's jump right into this. Brother Josh, for those who don't know, let people know a little bit more about this series. Talk about it.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sal. Well, this series is basically something that people have been asking me to do in a roundabout way. And I was just trying to think of a way to do it. Like ever since I did my documentary exposing the secret gay agenda in the Kemetic conscious groups, which nobody to this day has ever debunked, even though they're well aware of it. A lot of people have been buying it over the years. Nobody has come forward one time to try to debunk the information. I know they've seen it. Ever since then, people have been coming to me, like they'll post on my channel. Like if I do a video just exposing anything that's being promoted that's false in the Kemetic community, and not everybody in the Kemetic community promotes false information. I'm just talking about the ones who try to say things like the Bible was plagiarized from Kemet, or that the Jesus story was copied from the story of Horus or Heru. You know, ever since I've been exposing these things, people will come on my channel, or they would email me, or I'm pretty sure, Sal, they'll even email you, and they would say things like, well, you need to do a video exposing this particular person and the stuff they're talking about on this. And I was like, I was really reluctant to do it because I didn't want to be looked upon as a guy who's always attacking other people. And I still not trying to be looked on like that. But the reason why I really decided to do this is because if you look up there's something going on in the conscious community that a lot of people are not aware of. Few people are aware of this, but a lot of people are not aware of this. And this is the lack of something in academia called a peer review. Now, what is a peer review? We're going to read a couple of definitions because that's what my videos essentially are. I try to make them creative, with the silencer shot effect. They're just for entertainment purposes. Taking a shot at the argument that's being brought forth. And I'm going to break all of that down. But there's a lack of a peer review in the conscious community. Now, I'm going to look up the definition of peer review, and then I'm going to explain to you why a lack of a peer review is what's killing a lot of falsehood being taught in the conscious community and on Sarnetta TV. And this ain't a shot at Sarnetta. Shout out to Sarnetta. He's just a host. But the people who come on his show have put out misinformation before, and because there are no peer reviews in the conscious community or on his show, a lot of people take the things that the people say at face value. Now, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't believe anything that somebody tells you or that you shouldn't go behind them. But what a peer review does is somebody who is qualified or feels they have the same amount of knowledge or specialize in the same field that you have, they come behind you and they just basically fact check everything you're saying. And there's no peer review at all. Now, you've had people who've come on Sarnetta TV and they, tried to take a shot at stuff that other people who've been on this show have said. But a peer review is an exhaustive critique, analysis of that. So we're going to go to first, and you can look up peer review on a lot of sites. I'm just going to pick a couple of them, but you can just Google what is a peer review, and all kinds of hits will come back essentially telling you the same thing. But the first one that came up is Elsevier, right? And this is www.elsevier.com under what is a peer review. Now, let me just pull this up. It says, what is a peer review? Reviewers play a pivotal role in scholarly publishing. The peer review system exists to validate academic work, helps to improve the quality of published research. Notice what it says, helps to improve the quality of published research and increases networking possibilities within research communities. So we need to understand that the peer review exists to validate academic work. Now, that's just one place. I want to give y'all another site where it tells you what a peer review is. This is another site. This is authorservices.wiley.com. Let's see if I want to read this one. Yes, here we go. We can open it up. It says, what is a peer review? Peer review is designed to assess the validity, quality, and often the originality of articles for publication. And this is talking about in the context of articles. But a peer review can be done on anything that's claiming to be some kind of scholarly work. So I had already planned to do some kind of peer review on a lot of things I've been hearing on the internet, particularly like YouTube, like videos, because there is no peer reviews being done on people on social media who are claiming to be doing scholarly work. So when I went on Sinetta TV, I had a lot of stuff to pick from. That's one thing I got to say about Sinetta TV. He's never short on content, plenty of content. The man is probably the hardest working man in the content community when it comes to producing content. Like I said, shout out to Sinetta. But I went on there and I noticed that he has this guy on here who's bigging up as the Floyd Mayweather of consciousness. Sometimes he calls him the Floyd Mayweather of debate. And that's Jabari. And he's basically bigging up this guy like he's invincible, undefeated, cannot be touched, and all of that. And I don't care anything about that. You know, like, I love how he amps it up, how Sinetta amps it up and does all this other good stuff. I mean, the man is a natural showman. There's nothing, I have nothing against that. But when I saw that Sinetta was bigging this guy up like that, I said, okay, let me check him out for myself, see what the deal is. And I checked out a lot of stuff that he said about the Bible, and to be quite frank, his scholarship is lacking big time, both in understanding the Bible and in understanding the historicity of the Bible, Bible passages, just basic Bible stuff. So I decided that he would be the first person I would do a peer review on. Now, obviously, I don't call it a peer review. I don't call my video peer reviews because I think that's a little stale. So I call it Taking Shots At, or T.S.A. for short. Now, the crazy thing about this, Sal, and I got to bring this to your attention, Jabari, obviously, he saw my video, and him and Sinetta, they commented on my video. And by the way, they will be getting a T.S.A. response to that live stream. Just putting that out there. They're going to get a T.S.A. response to that. But one of the things that I didn't like that he tried to do, Jabari, was make it seem like by me titling my video Taking Shots At, and also by me using a little silencer shotgun, you know, like a silencer gunshot effect, that I was somehow trying to perpetuate violence between black people. Like, the intent was like, I'm trying to say, in a sense, I'm shooting him. And I was just like, wow, I've always thought this brother was very intelligent because it's a metaphor. And let me show y'all something. Sal, let me ask you a question. And this one's for you, Sal. Do you know what it means to take a shot at something?
Yeah. So pretty much, address and, whatever is being put out there. Right? You're taking a shot at it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, here's the thing. And that is correct, right? Now, this is from dictionary.com. www.yourdictionary.com. Now, this is a double meaning behind taking shots at. But this is what I had in mind. This is the definition. To take a shot, it says to take a shot at is to try to do something. An example of take a shot at is when everyone is trying to solve a hard puzzle and you decide you'll take a look and see if you can solve it too. To take a shot at means to aim a rifle or gun at a person and pull a trigger. Notice it gave both of the definitions. One of them meant to try to do something. So when I said I'm taking a shot at Jabari Osaze's Hebrew Israelite misogyny and the Bible video, what I was saying is I'm attempting to disprove the things he was saying in his video. But taking a shot literally means aiming a gun or a rifle or whatever at somebody, which is why I added the silencer shot effect. So it's a double meaning. Both of them means take a shot at, and I took two ways of spinning that. One of them is an idiom, and another one is literal. But I use the literal one in combination with the idiom, and metaphorically, whenever I see something wrong in a video or a lecture, I call that a shot. So I don't know why, for the life of me, Jabari tried to take that. Well, I got my theories on why he tried to do it. I think that's just really the only thing to find wrong with what I did. But everybody else who saw my video, nobody ever said to me they took it like that, Sal. Everybody was like, okay, they totally understand the shots represent every time you got something wrong. It's kind of like on game shows, when somebody gets something wrong, you hear the buzzer sound. For me, I came up with something creative, and I made it the sniper gunshot sound. Now, a lot of y'all might be like, well, Phil, why did you choose to do that? Well, one thing I've noticed, and this is what really blew my mind too, Sal and Antoine, this is what really blew my mind. Jabari, who is a featured persona on Finetta TV quite a lot, had the audacity to say that when Finetta TV, or specifically Finetta, is known for having gunshot effects, explosions, whenever somebody makes a point. And I don't have any problem with that. I actually like it. You know, I'm not going to sit up here like, oh, man, I don't like that. No, I'm telling y'all the truth. I like that. So I even have a video I can show you, well, there are actually several, where Jabari was teaching. And, you know, Jabari, obviously, you can't hold this against him because he don't do the sound effects or the editing on Finetta TV. Finetta does that. But still, Finetta has videos where I've seen videos, I don't know if they're still on YouTube, y'all know I'm not lying, where somebody make a point and Finetta literally had missiles flying in on the screen. Missiles. Like, just sound effects and all, right? I've seen it. And I was trying to figure out why would mine bother him so much when he's in videos where those same sound effects are used to illustrate that he's either making a serious point or he just dropped some serious knowledge. Like, the metaphor is there. So I just felt the way, Sal, when the guy tried to besmirch the video and say, I don't like the way how he had the sound effects like that. And he's sitting right next to Finetta in the live stream, not in person, but in the live stream. And he's sitting right next to Finetta, and Finetta does nothing but explosions, gunshots, all kinds of things. And I was like, oh, my God, I cannot believe this guy is trying to throw that on me and ain't had nothing to say to Finetta, because from my knowledge, I don't know what they talk about behind the scenes, but from my knowledge, I've never seen Jabari openly confront Finetta and say, hey, man, you know, don't you think you need to chill on the weapons of warfare sound effects? I mean, dude, you got explosions, you got gunshots, like not no silencer shot, you know? And then you got other people in the conscious community who've done stuff like actually taking books, like this was on Finetta's TV channel. He had Polite on there shooting up the Bible, literally shooting up the Bible. Went to a gun range, literally shot up the Bible. You follow what I'm saying? So these guys do stuff like this all the time in the conscious community. So I didn't think it would be a big deal if I kind of gave them a little of the same flavor, but not nearly as extreme, because my stuff was not aimed at the individual. Even in the title, it says taking a shot at his lecture. His lecture. I don't wish no violence on any of those brothers. I don't wish any harm on any of those brothers, and nobody took it like that. But I just wanted to put that out there.
All right, once again, family, you know the number, 563-999-3674. I see we have a lot of people on the phone lines, and 224C, I'm going to get you in a few minutes. I see you press number 1. But for those who don't know, who's not aware, just press number 1. If you're on the phone lines, simply press number 1. If you're on the internet, if you're on BlogTalkRadio, you want to check out the show, and you want to actually ask questions live, it's down the number 563-999-3674. Then you press the number 1. and that lets me know that you have a question for my special guest, Brother Josh from Absolute Bible Truth. Antoine is here. Before I let the caller come in, I'm going to let Antoine, you want to say anything? You want to address anything, Antoine? Okay.
I basically, you know, once all of this stuff, you know, when Josh first dropped the video and everything, first of all, I think a lot of people, I mean, I know I was excited to see, you know, ABT back on YouTube as far as like putting some material out on there. I know a lot of people, and you can just go on the video and read the comments and see that a lot of people were excited to see that. So that was the first thing. But actually going through the content and all that stuff, you could see that there were a lot of things being said just to, you know, for an entertainment value, which was, I think, everybody could appreciate. Even when there were other brothers or, you know, uploaded the video to that page, you could see that the people were not only educated but also entertained by what they saw. They were like, "Oh man, he did his cinnamon sin style," or "This was this," or they're quoting one of the little cameos where you like put like a cartoon in there or something like that. Like people were quoting it, or you know, a movie clip or a song clip in there, and like, you know, you could just tell the people thoroughly enjoyed it. So when I actually saw them, like, it's funny because you can almost like watch their whole mood change when they're having this whole discussion. Like when they started talking about it, like, man, just give me the guy number, man. I call the guy. You can just see the whole mood change. But as far as, you know, them having a problem with the gun and all that stuff, man, that is truly straining at a gnat. That literally had nothing to do, like all this material that was put out. And, I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg. And I know a lot of y'all already know that too, but it's just like all the material that was put out there in under 40 minutes, like the only thing you can think about is a gunshot sound, and it literally sounded like a laser tag gun to me. Like it didn't even sound like a silencer. Yeah. Like it was that small. Like I'm like, come on, like, are you seriously trying to? And it's like I just. Right, like a little dart gun. So I'm like, you know what, man? I can't even take this that seriously. Like, y'all, I mean, if somebody had done a video like that against us or said something about me, like, I will address it point by point by point. But he is not going to be able to do that. He can't do that. The information was thorough, and that's a problem when a lot of these guys, when they don't truly, like, you know, Josh said it best in the actual video. He says, instead of actually, and it's not just Jabari, it's a lot of people, when they read the Bible, they don't read the Bible to read it and to understand it. They read it to find fault. And that's what Jabari was doing. And he just made so many elementary errors with just from his Bible reading. And it also, you know, the video was also able to expose that these guys don't even know Kemet like that. And if anybody has ever has ordered the homosexual agenda, y'all already saw that. In ancient Egypt. If y'all seen that documentary that Josh did, what was that now, like 5 years ago? I don't even know how long ago it was now. If anybody's seen that video, you already know these guys. I mean, they tell you Kemet this, back to Africa that, Kemet this, back to Africa that. They literally do not know what they're telling you to do, because they don't know their own writings. They don't look up their own sources. They don't do any of their own things. It's just a mess. And I heard other guys saying other stuff. I heard the Unc. I heard them making some just ridiculous comments about the video. I'll let, you know, Josh bring that up or whatever. But it was just, you know, I just couldn't believe that they took the time of a 40-minute video to talk about a laser tag sound, rather than the fact that all your credibility was just taken away from you. You know, like, I would at least try to stand up for myself some way, shape, or form. You know, but obviously they wanted to try to deflect and talk about something else. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah, once again, family, the number is 563-999-3674. I'm getting a lot of, feedback and a lot of things going on in the background. But, yeah, I'm going to go to the phone lines. Let's go to 224. You're live. 224, you're live. Okay.
Yo, what's going on? Shalom. Hope everybody's doing well. Yeah, so basically, I'm just calling in. I know some of the brothers know who I am. I'm Aaron. I haven't been on the group chat or haven't really dealt with the brothers for a little minute, but nothing specifically against anybody. I've been kind of in the background, been talking to Dre Gates a lot. But the reason why I called today is because I find it super hypocritical and of Josh to focus his time on people like Jabari. But then when I've already brought up Christian people that will dialogue with you, debate with you. You talk about Sunday Christians. You said you'll debate these people, but then when it's brought up to you, you got excuses that seem to just be giving me to run around or giving people to run around. So you talk like you got the word or you got the truth, and you think that most Christians are going to hell or because they're not found the law, but you don't care. You ain't even going to debate people like Sam Shimon or Michael Brown when we got a debate ready for you. Vocab Malone, these people are ready for you, but you want to make excuses and reasons why you can't do it. So I just wanted to bring that out. I thought it was super hypocritical and pretty messed up of you.
Well,
okay.
That's all I got.
So, okay.
I mean, first of all,
okay.
I know Aaron.
Let me handle this. Let me handle this.
Years before we even know who Aaron or Sam Shimon anything.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so first of all, listen to what the brother said. The brother said, you're teaching that people who don't keep the law will go to hell and all of that stuff. I never taught that. I never taught that. So, never. So, that's misrepresenting what I teach, number one. Number two, when I said I wanted to debate these people about the law, and who was this? This was Aaron? Was this Aaron? I want to make sure I got the person. It was Aaron. I told them, and Sal, you're a witness to this, I said I will debate them, but I want to debate them on Debate Talk for You. I never said I would not debate these people. In fact, I got text messages of conversations verifying, and y'all know I'll put out some text messages in a minute public, saying I will debate these people, but I want to do it on Debate Talk for You. I tell everybody that. I've never said I will never, and the only thing I did say I don't want to debate about, and I'm not going to deny that, is the Trinity. Because I said, to me, that's not important. And number three, I would only be a hypocrite, because this is what a hypocrite is, because I don't think the brother understands what it means to be a hypocrite. A hypocrite would be him asking me to debate these other people he named, and I come up with all kinds of excuses. But then I turn around and debate Jabari. Antoine, what did I tell you? And if people are listening, Black Jesus Minister, he's a witness. Priest Daniel Olive, he's a witness. After I did that video, Sarnetta and Jabari both reached out at the same time to Black Jesus Minister and also Priest Daniela, saying they wanted to get me on Sarnetta TV and debate them. And I told them, no, I don't want to debate them yet. If I was a hypocrite, Antoine, though, what would I have done, Antoine, if I was a hypocrite?
If you was a hypocrite, you would have went on they little platform and went over there and debated them. But we already talked about this. We're not going on their platform to do anything. If they ever wanted to come and do anything, it would have to happen on Debate Talk for You. The same exact thing you said about
same exact thing I told all these other people. So, brother, I don't know where all this heat and this animosity coming from. Brother, come on here. I find it quite hypocritical. No, what I find it is that your butt hurt because I don't want to do something you want me to do when you want me to do it. That's what this really is. I mean, there's nothing hypocritical about me turning down people when I don't want to debate them. I turned them down. How's that hypocrisy? Well, go ahead, Antoine. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I was saying that, and plus, a lot of this stuff, this whole thing with Kemet, like you said in the opening, like, this has been building up for years and years and years, you know, and like, this stuff is like way old. But like you said, like it's no hypocrisy.
Let me go
the thing that I don't get though is like I want to know, Aaron, like where did you ever get the inference that anybody that you ever talked to at ABT or Josh or anybody has ever said you going to hell if you don't keep the law? Because ain't nobody. I don't even know how you even come to that conclusion. We tell people you're supposed to keep the law, you're supposed to do things, you're supposed to teach people that thing, but I don't know who God's gonna have mercy on. I don't know I don't know what God is gonna do to certain people, but I'm not gonna tell them nothing wrong. But nobody said we believe all Christians going to hell. Absolutely not.
I've never said that. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. We actually said and teach that it's gonna be some law keeping people
standing there watching some Sunday Christians walk in the kingdom. We've said that.
I've said that. I've said that.
I don't.
Many times.
I want to know where Aaron got this from. Like, where is this coming from?
Where this is coming from is what he said. He told you where this is coming from because he was saying he wants me to debate these people about the law. He said, but you're making up excuses. The only quote-unquote excuse I ever gave him was that I don't want to debate people on their own platforms. I don't want to debate people on my platform. I want to come on a neutral platform. And you yourself, Aaron, and you can come back in and correct me if I'm wrong, when I pitched to you to pitch the idea to them of becoming on Debate Talk for You, because I never said no. I just said I want them on Debate Talk for You. When I pitched that idea to you to give back to them, you told me that they said no. So are they making excuses? See, how come when I don't get my way, I'm making excuses, but when they don't get their way, I don't hear nobody, he ain't saying they making excuses. See, why is it that? Because I want to do it on a neutral platform, oh, you're coming up with all kinds of excuses. But they don't want to leave the comfort of their own platform to debate me on Debate Talk for You. But are you going on their shows when they're doing a live show talking about something completely unrelated, mind you, and try to put them on blast like they making excuses because they don't want to debate me on Debate Talk for You? No, you want to do stuff like that to me. You want to try to put me on blast and try to rain on my moment when the only thing I'm on here is talking about me doing a series of videos, not debate. Mind you, these are videos, peer review. A peer review is not a debate. A peer review is somebody reviewing something that somebody else did and evaluating it to see if it's academically sound. Now, I would be a big hypocrite if I made all these excuses about these guys and then turned around and you saw me on Silent Letter TV the very next day after they called me out on there going back and forth with Jabari. That would be hypocritical. Furthermore, don't you think, Aaron, and you can come back in and disagree or agree, don't you think it's more valuable for me to go after people who are telling people to put the Bible down completely? They're saying the Bible is garbage. The Bible is the white man's book. It's false. It's a lie. It's copied from Kemet. This is the type of stuff these people are saying over there that I ain't focusing my attention on. Now, me and whoever else, Vocab Malone and Sam Shimon or whoever else, we can be in the Bible and we can argue back and forth with each other all day long. But at the end of the day, I believe that those brothers, they believe the Bible. They ain't out there teaching people to put the Bible down. They ain't out there saying Jesus didn't exist. They ain't out there saying turn away from Jesus, go back to Kemet. They're not saying things like that. So why would I want to debate them when there are people who are driving people from the faith entirely? That's who I'm focusing on. That's top priority in my book. I could debate these guys. I debated the Trinity before. I debated with Stanley until this day. I still think that those guys who you named can't hold a candle to Stanley. But people don't look at this from my perspective, Antoine. People don't look at this like, you know what? Josh's been having these same debates for years, over and over again. Maybe Josh is tired of debating about the same thing over and over again. Maybe Josh is trying to spread his horizon. Maybe Josh is trying to focus on something different. You know, it's almost like he has in his mind that if anybody should debate these people, it must be me. When there are many Hebrew Israelites and others who teach that we still supposed to be keeping the law, just like me. Have you reached out to any of them? Why does it have to be me to take them out? You follow what I'm saying? And I didn't even say I wouldn't do it. I just said I wanted to do it on Debate Talk for You. Didn't I say that, Antoine? Didn't I say that?
Yep.
I want to do it on the Sal. What did I say I've been trying to do for your show for the longest? You can tell them, Sal, what I've been saying I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Please
you
tell
been saying you want to bring the pretty much was been saying you want to bring the traffic to Debate Talk for You to this platform.
I want to bring the traffic to Debate Talk for You. That's what I've been saying. And then I explained that to that brother. I explained that to Aaron. And yet he called in, oh, man, and fired up like that. I mean, dude, my video has been out for 2 weeks. But let me show you how foul the brother is. Now I got to go off on him. Let me show you how foul he is. Dude got my number. Dude listening on my classes. My video has been out for 2 weeks. Antoine and Sal. If the brother felt by me doing this video, let me not forget, And this show that I'm doing tonight was postponed from last week. So he knew since last week I was supposed to do this meeting. The second he found out about that, he felt the way back then. He felt this way a week ago. So all this stuff, he got my number. He listened in on my show. He knew I was supposed to do this last week. This dude had 2 weeks, 3 if you count that he knew I was supposed to do this show last week and postponed to tonight. He could have reached out to me behind the scenes first and be like, yo, Josh, I feel the ways about what you're doing. I was like, what you doing, brother? You focus this petition on Jabari. I've been trying to get you to debate such and such and such and such. What's up? But no, he didn't do it like that. He want to wait till I'm trying to deal with something that's new, that people been asking me for, longer than he been asking me about these debates with these guys, mind you. This has been going on for like 5 years. You can go on my YouTube channel, read the comments. People have been asking me to do this for years. And I'm just now giving the people what they've been asking me for. But my point is, that brother could have came at me and stepped me behind the scenes, but he want to get foul and come at me and try to just come at me like, oh, you're a hypocrite because you don't want to debate who I want you to debate. Even though I already said I would do it, I just want to do it on Debate Talk for you. That's all I said. I said, come on Debate Talk for you. Go ahead, Antoine. You want something on that?
I'm tripping that he's saying we condemning folks to hell. Like, we don't, ain't, man, that's because saying Christians don't go to hell if they don't keep the law. And we've literally said the exact opposite, that there are going to be Hebrew Israelites, there are going to be some strict Torah teachers out there watching Sunday Christians walk in the kingdom. They're going to be watching them walk straight into the kingdom.
Exactly.
Somebody that's
I said, I also said this.
Life.
Yep, I said that. I said there's going to be people who ate pork, they didn't know they weren't supposed to, never kept the Sabbath a day in their life, but they're going to be in the kingdom because they didn't know what they was supposed to be doing as far as the law, but they still were doing the other things that they did know. And here's another thing. Technically, there are going to be people in hell who broke God's law because some laws are in the book of Revelation that if you break them, you'll go in the lake of fire. It said, all liars. That's in the law. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Right? That's in the law. Murderers. Thou shalt not kill. So for me telling a Christian they will go to hell for breaking the law, that wouldn't even be wrong in its entirety anyway. They will just tell you, well, I don't think I'm going to hell for eating pork. Or I don't think I'm going to hell for wearing mixed fabrics. Or I don't think I'm going to hell if I don't wear fringes. But do you think you'll go to hell if you murder somebody and don't repent? Well, yeah. Do you think you'll go to hell if you are a liar and don't repent? Well, yeah. Do you think you'll go to hell if you're an adulterer and don't repent? Well, yeah. I don't know no Christian that'll come on here and debate me that if you do those 3 things without repenting, you'll go to hell. But guess what? All of those are in the law. They were in the law first. And you can't take something that was in the law, and then when Jesus comes, you flip it, turn it around, and even though he said you're going to go to hell for it, you're going to say, well, you'll go to hell for it, but it ain't got nothing to do with the law. Where do you think you got it from? Jesus didn't come on the scene and invent thou shalt not murder. The Hebrews were already teaching that. He didn't come on the scene and invent don't commit adultery. That was already in the law. But when Jesus say that those type of things will send you to hell, now I'm all of a sudden a liar, Antoine, because I'm telling Christians if they are adulterers and don't repent, they'll go to hell. That's in the law. The problem with these people who he wants me to debate, they want to go to certain parts in the law and be like, well, if you break this part, you won't go to hell. But if you break this part, you will go to hell. So if I break anything in the 10 Commandments without repenting, worshiping false God, blaspheming God's name, taking his name in, vain. If I do any of those things without repenting, will that send me to hell? In fact, I would like to know from the Christian community, what the hell does send you to hell? That's what I want to know. You follow what I'm saying? Before you get on here and say, I'm condemning people to hell, I ain't never condemned nobody to hell. I ain't never said to anybody, you're going to hell. I've never said that about nobody a day in my life. Yeah. I always see people, if you don't repent. Exactly. I always tell people, this is what the word says, if you don't repent. But I see what's going on here. This is a brother who wants to get his Don King thing on with me. He wants to be Don King and set up fights with me and other people. And because I don't want to fight who he wants me to fight, when he wants me to fight them, now I'm a hypocrite because I'm doing a peer review or peer reviews instead of debate. Hypocrisy would be me debating other people. Have I debated anybody since he even asked me about this? Have I ever one?
No.
Have I debated anybody?
Nope.
As far as I know, I had.
Yeah,
I think the last debate I had. Go ahead. Sam, sorry.
No, just to let you know, he's still standing by you. If you want to let me get some last comments before you move on, you can. But once again, the number is 563-999. Yeah, once again, the number is 563-999-3674. I see people on the phone lines. Again, simply press number 1, guys, if you want to chime in. Again, this is about the YouTube series that's coming out. Well, it's already out. Taking Shots to T.S.A. I have the link in the description box. Make sure you click on it, and also go to his website, www.absolutebibletruth.com/store if you want to check out some of Brother Josh's classes. But let me know whenever you're ready. You want to bring him in now, Josh? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, you can. My phone was muted. Sorry about that. Yeah, you can bring him back in.
Okay. All right, hold on. All right, Sheeper, get back on the line.
All right, awesome. All right, so I'll try to make this as fast as possible. Just so you know, I play this game with everybody. I've called out Vocab Malone. I super chatted him on a super chat, calling him out because of him dodging me and telling me one thing and then going the other way. I've called out Tazariak. I've called out one of their other little minions. I told Kazak, which other the brothers know about. I've talked to Faithful to God. And again, I've told people and I've confronted them about debating, and the only reason why, and I've told Faithful this, reason why
debating who?
I'm debating you.
Who?
I'm debating you. I asked Vocab to debate you, and then he said he would, and then he kind of gave me the runaround. So I super chatted him and asked him like, "Yo, what's up? You said that you would debate him." And then, and then you got Sam in the background saying, "Oh, I'll decimate anybody, blah, blah, blah." And so, I do this with everybody. And I told Faithful to God, the reason why I want Brother Josh to debate or have a dialogue with Sam, I don't care if it's a debate. I would like a dialogue more so. But the reason why is because you are not like these other Hebrew Israelites. You are not racist. You seem to take the Bible seriously. You work on a more professional level. These other guys, Tazariak is a waste of time. This guy's a straight up deceiver. And so I found
Aaron, can
real
I ask you
value.
One question, though? Just one question.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you one question? Did I not say I would debate any of those guys if they'll do it on Debate Talk for You? That's all I want to know. Did I say that?
Right. Yes, you said that. And when I was
okay,
when so I was
how's that an
Florida,
excuse? So how am I making an excuse, bro?
Let me tell you why. Because I remember when I was in Florida, I was at the Sanibel Sprout at a restaurant. This is the first time I called you, and I asked you if you would dialogue and debate with other Christians, because I've never heard of somebody with your position. And at that point, I never got any stipulations. But then when it jumped to, this was probably about a year or so later, I had brought up the issue again, and then you made that stipulation about the Trinity and then not being like a salvational issue. But then you did a debate on whether Enoch is in the Bible or something along the lines of Enoch, and that's not a salvational issue either. And so that's why I felt like it was a bit hypocritical.
But this was something that was brought to me. First of all, let me explain too. And I'm glad that you're keeping a timeline with this stuff. I'm glad you did that. Because notice you said a year later. Am I not allowed to grow within the year and decide that something that I wanted to do a year ago, I'm no longer interested in doing? Am I not allowed to do that? Have you never done that before?
Yeah.
Have you never had something that you wanted to do and then a year later somebody come ask you about the same thing? You like, no? As far as the Trinity goes, Sal will tell you. Sal is right here online. I've had other people since Stanley, before you even started talking to me, bro, who said they wanted to debate me on the Trinity, and I said, no, I already did that with Stanley. I don't even like doing, Sal is a witness. I hate to keep calling on Sal, but he can attest to any of this stuff better than anybody. Sal will tell you, I don't like debating.
Josh don't like to deal with the same topics twice.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like to deal with the same topic twice. I don't, unless it's the only exception, if the person I'm debating is bringing something completely different that I've never heard before. And I went and checked out these guys that you told me to check out because you told me to, and they were saying the same stuff I've heard before. And they said, I'm like, I'm not going to get on here for 3.5 hours. I don't know if y'all understand the work. If you've ever been a guest on Sal Show, and this is a shout out to everybody that's ever put in this time on Sal Show, whether a debate or a lecture. But especially with myself, y'all have to understand that when we do these debates and lectures, this is 3.5 to 4 hours of us just sitting here serving the people. And I'm not complaining, right? But we take out our time to do this. And I'm saying to myself, if I'm going to do this, then it needs to be worthwhile. With the Enoch thing, and I'm glad you brought that up, Sal, once again, will explain to you, this brother came to me. He came to me. He was calling around asking Sal anybody. I want to debate somebody about what happened to Enoch. I didn't go looking for that. And I said, this is something that's never been talked about before. And people, if you go back and listen to that show, somebody called in and said exactly that. I'm so glad to hear about something that ain't been done to death. Thank you, brothers. Keep bringing this out. So I took that for two reasons. Number one, it was brought to me. Number two, the brother who it was brought to by, I got a history with him. He was one of my old teachers. So there was a little history there. And number three, it had never been done. It had never been done before. So I'm not just sitting up here consciously neglecting stuff you're asking me to do and then slapping you in the face by going and doing something anyway that's in the lines of what you just got through asking me to do. I'm not doing that. But even with you, Aaron, even though I said I don't want to talk about the trendy no more, I don't want to do that no more, man. You know, I'm bored with that. That's not really an issue with me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody would go to hell if they believe that the Holy Ghost is God. If they believe God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, I don't see nobody going to hell because these same people that believe that, they still telling you we got to believe in Jesus and he got to save us. I don't think on Judgment Day, I could be totally wrong. I've never read anything in the Bible, but I don't think on Judgment Day, Jesus is going to say, depart from me, ye workers of iniquity, because you believe in the Trinity. I don't see that. But with this Enoch thing, I gave you the reason why I took that, right? But when it comes to even what you asked me to do about debating them in general, I didn't completely dismiss you. I said, brother, bring them on Sal's show. I want to debate. And I told you the same thing like Sal said. I'm trying to bring traffic back to debate talk. That's why I'm doing this tonight. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this tonight. I got my own blog talk show, Aaron. You know this. I could have just put out an opening on Friday night, uploaded the show, and be like, yo, let me tell all my people, go on Facebook. This is why I'm doing this T.S.A. series. But I did it here because I want to bring traffic back to Debate Talk for You because Sal, having me on this show when Debate Talk for You was at its peak of popularity, Sal being on Sal's show brought a lot of people in my direction, both members, both inquiry, both donations, because I was on this show. And then it seemed like to me that he lost a lot of luster in his show. So I'm like, let me go ahead and turn around and do it on this show. I even told Antoine and everybody else who know about the show, about the video, when Jabari first with Sal was saying he wanted to get at me, I even said, no, I'm not interested in debating him right now. But if I did, and Sal, you can fill in the gap, where did I say it would have to happen? Tell him, Sal. Tell him what he wants.
Right here on Debate Talk for You.
Right here on Debate Talk for You. You know what I'm saying? So, Avery, all I can tell you is this. You get them on Debate Talk for You, and I'll get them. That's all I can tell you, bro. Get them on Debate Talk for You, and I'll get them. I promise you that. I ain't never went back on that. Have I?
No, I hear you, and I appreciate you explaining and expounding a bit more. And like I said, I believe I've told the other brothers this as well. It's not like, I do try to have debates that I feel like I could benefit from, but I also feel like others will benefit from as well. So I'm not just trying to pull you out of something or just trying to set up a debate with you. I really believe that others will benefit from it. And so, but also when it comes to all the Christians going to hell, if I'm not mistaken, I'll go back and check. It was in the class that you did, Paul on Trial. That was a while ago, so you could have changed since then. Agreed. But if I'm not mistaken, you said something along the lines that like over 90% of Christians are probably going to go to hell because of this and that. But I'll have to go and check and make sure.
Pagan holidays And also the fact that 90% of Christians, even with what they know, who are the biggest foreign? Okay, first of all, let me just hit you with a little quiz right quick, and I know you know the answer, so you ain't got to feel like I'm trying to try you. What's the number one religion in the world? What's the number one religion in the world?
Christianity.
Christianity, okay. Christianity is the number one religion in the world. So, by all reason and logic, if Christianity is the number one religion in the world, I ain't getting off on all these different branches and stuff, all these different denominations, because at the core, I think they all agree we shouldn't be lying, we shouldn't be murdering, we shouldn't be stealing, we shouldn't be committing adultery. At the core, they all agree on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet, when you look at this world, let's just go to America. Let's keep it simple. We go to America. That's still the biggest religion in America, Christianity, right? If you look at all this stuff going on and you use those statistics, statistically speaking, it has to be mostly being done, all this crime and all this sin, statistically it has to be done by Christians or professed Christians. So I ain't just going to call them Christians, we'll say professed Christians, right?
Right.
If that's what I was talking about when I said 90%, because I'm looking at this world, and the world, for the most part, is proclaiming Jesus, God, Elohim, Yeshua, Christian or Messianic Hebrews. They're all professing that. So when I said 90% of them going to do that, I'm basing that off of what I see going on in this world, not doctrinal views necessarily. Now, when you go to read the book of Revelation and it describes the people who are going to be in the lake of fire, let me ask you a question, Aaron. Is Sabbath keepers mentioned there?
No.
Or pork and swine eaters mentioned there?
No.
Or people who don't wear fringes, are they mentioned there?
No.
But what is mentioned there is adulterers, idolaters, fornicators, all that stuff, and that's what's going on now in the church. All of these people having children by multiple men out of wedlock, all this stuff we see going on, homosexuality running rapid, LGBTQ, they're letting all that up in the church, right? This is in the New Testament. We need to talk about no law. Paul said that, the effeminate, that's homosexual, they will not enter into the kingdom. That means they go into the lake of fire. Romans chapter 1 talk about lesbian women, say even the women, they were just getting toward each other. I'm just paraphrasing it. All this is in the New Testament. All this is still going on and accepted in the modern day church for the most part. That's what I mean when I say 90%. This is, we didn't even talk about the law. We ain't even got to the Old Testament. I can send, and I'm being dramatic here. I don't mean me literally doing it, but I can send a lot of Christians to hell without opening the Old Testament. I don't got to crack the Old Testament. You could do it, Aaron. As long as Sal could do it. Because you see this world. I'm not talking about the law. When I said putting Paul on trial, that was sending to hell because you're lying on an apostle in the Bible. You don't think lying on an apostle who was appointed by Jesus, any apostle, you don't think that's a damnable offense?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I probably got the wrong impression, or obviously I got the wrong impression from it. It did seem like you were implying that people that don't keep the law were not going to make it into the kingdom. And so that's kind of what
Well, that's true. That's true to a certain extent. But see, the whole point is when Christians hear law, they start thinking about? They don't think about moral. They think about sacrifices. They think about rituals. They think about stuff like that. If I say law and they say, me breaking the law won't send me to hell, and I turn around and say, well, we'll commit adultery without repenting, will that send you to hell? They'll say, yeah, that's the law. So what am I supposed to do? Now, I'm putting you on the spot now, Aaron. What am I supposed to do when somebody asks me, will keeping the law or breaking the law send them to hell? And I know there are things in the law that the New Testament condemns as you will go to hell for that. What am I supposed to do when they ask me that question? What would you say? Some of the law? If you break some of it, would you say that?
Well, I mean, as a Sunday Christian, yeah, they would kind of pick and choose. But where you're coming from, you see the law, like when you think law, you're thinking of, the Torah, the laws of the Torah. So
I don't pick and choose. Like I'm not gonna play that game where if we sit down and we open up the Old Testament and Aaron takes me through all 613 and be like, okay, if I break this one, gosh, will I go to hell? Because a lot of laws in the Old Testament don't even apply to everybody anyway. You know that, right? But let's just say the ones that do apply to everybody, the common man or the common person, right? If you go to the New Testament, even if we, Brother Josh, I ain't got this authority, but let's say if I did, if I exempt the Sabbath, if I exempt the dietary law, if I exempt the wearing fringes, if I exempt the wearing mixed fabric, if I exempt and excuse Christians from all of them, still ain't looking good. Because there's still, we still got the homosexuality. That's in the New Testament. That's not just Old Testament. We still got all of that. So if I tell somebody breaking God's laws will send you to hell, I'm not lying because I can name stuff straight out of God's laws and they will agree, well, yeah, that'll send me to hell if I don't repent. They'll all agree.
Right.
That's New Testament. Paul said that he gave a whole list of people who were not. Matter of fact, while we're doing this, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with this, by the way. We here for this too. I told Sal I plan on doing a little teaching too. I ain't have nothing like outlined, but this is still the Sabbath and there's still people listening. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm just saying though, Aaron, man, you didn't have to do it like this, bro. You could have you got my number, bro. You could have called me, man. You could have came to me and like, Josh, what the hell? And I would have been on the phone with you.
I mean, and honestly, I feel like
okay.
I haven't necessarily reached out to. I mean, I've reached out to you personally a couple times, but it's been some time. It's been like over a course of time, and like I said, it's not just you. I feel like I'm kind of getting this from. I've told this to Dre. I've told this to Faithful to God that I feel like I'm getting this from Vocab, and others as well. So it's like, I just feel like I'm getting the impression that they'll do it, but then like there seems to be like no follow up, or when I actually go through, I try to contact these people, bro. And I know. Well, we can get.
But I gave you the one stipulation
on Sal's show. So I mean, that's
cool.
fine.
But the only thing he wants to talk about is the only thing you told me he wants to talk about is the Trinity. Unless I'm mistaken.
Well, I do understand he wants to debate that. I mean, I could probably.
Okay, the same thing. When I say talk about, that's the same thing. Talk about, debate. That's what I mean.
Right.
That's all he wants to deal with.
Right.
I'm not interested in that anymore. After I debated Stanley. That was like what, 7 years ago, Sal? Since the first time I came on the show, was it like 7 years ago?
Yeah, probably.
I debated Stanley on that. 7 or 8 years ago. That was like 8 years ago.
Right.
8 years, Aaron. And in 8 years, you don't think anybody else wanted to debate me about the Trinity?
I'm sure the
world
world
wanted to debate me on the Trinity. And I was like, no. After Stanley, I was like, man, I don't want to do this. Even if you listen to the debate I had with Enoch, with Elijah Moses, I said I don't want to debate him anymore. You remember that? I said, man, I don't want to do this. Like, I see this man still as like a mentor to me. I don't want to debate him. I can just put this out here right now. There are certain people that I will never debate again. I will never debate Stanley again. I will never debate Elijah Moses again. I will never debate anybody from Kemet, connected to Jesus again. I see Judah over there, Zadok, that's my brother, and I see Judah over there as one of my mentors. I will never debate him or challenge him to a debate ever again. If there's certain people I won't ever debate again. Even Sal can tell you, Aaron. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that you might not know. Even Sal can tell you. I remember I debated Alazar, Gorilla Hebrew. I debated him one time. One. I said, Sal, that's it. I don't want to debate no more, man. I don't care what nobody say. If he won, I won. I don't care. Sal was like, yo, Josh, man, that was the biggest audience we ever had. A lot of people saw it. And plus, Alazar says he want to run it back. He want another debate. I told Sal, no, Sal. Just kept on. I said, okay, Sal, I'll debate him again. I debated him again. I said, okay, Sal, that's it. I'm done. Leave me alone about it. He said, man, crowd was even bigger. A lot of people tuned in, edified, and plus this time he wants to do a 3-on-3. Him and two of his guys against you and two people for ABT. I said, okay, Sal, but this is the last time, I promise you. And to Sal's credit, he made sure that each time we debated, it was a different topic, right? But I don't even like debating the same people over and over, Aaron. That's just a quirk I got about myself, man. I don't like debating the same thing over unless the person coming from a completely different angle. If they come from a completely different angle with it, I'll debate them on it because this is like a business strategy I'm trying to make, man. I love my brother Sal because Sal He don't show me a lot of love, and he don't did a lot of stuff that has helped my personal ministry grow. He's done a lot of stuff. So I'm telling people all the time that I'm trying to bring traffic back to Sal. Now I say this openly for everybody. And I told Sal this. Sal got in a text message. Y'all think I'm lying. I said this Sal like 2 weeks ago. This is the real reason why I'm doing these T.S.A. videos. Sal, you're a witness. What did I say was my plan? I said I've been thinking about this for over a year. What did I say my plan all along was? You can tell them, or you can go back and read the text I sent you over 2 weeks ago. What did I say, Sal? What was it all about all along?
Yeah, I don't got the text in front of me, but pretty much you want to, like I said, bring the traffic back to Debate Talk for you, pretty much.
To debate Talk for you. That was my whole plan. This ain't got nothing to do with me trying to brush you off, brother. This is something that I've been trying to repay my brother for what he's done to me, thinking of a way to try to get traffic back to Debate Talk for you. That's why I'm doing this here tonight on Debate Talk for you. That's what I'm trying to do, because a lot of people who are on 5 Letter TV right now, they was on Sal Debate Talk for you first. And we were popping. And, and we got the best debaters over here. Yeah, I said it. We got the best. We got the better lineup than they got. I'll say that to anybody. And if they don't like it, they can come at me on Debate Talk for you. You follow what I'm saying? If Jabari, that butt hurt about my video that I did, I'll debate you, bro. If you listening, I will debate you on Debate Talk for you. You follow what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. I do these videos. They get upset. They come on Debate Talk for you.
Right.
That's all it is. Or they don't say anything. Yeah.
Right. No, I hear you. And like I said, I am, and I've tried to, bring people on Sal's show. I like Sal a lot, and I like you as well. And I believe that you guys are sincere brothers. I know there's not too much information on Sal's point of views, but what I've got out of Sal, he seems like a good brother, and and I do try to get, people on to Sal's show as well. So, this is all in love. This is honestly me trying to just have a better understanding. I got 2 teachers that I feel are well studied, and I just want them to come together, and it helps, I think, bring clarity to me and many others. And so, I'm sorry if I came off wrong. And I don't want there to be any animosity between me, you, and I don't have any animosity between you and the ABC brothers.
I don't hold grudges, bro. Everybody know about Josh. Josh don't hold grudges, bro. I don't. I've already forgotten about it. Go ahead.
And I will say though, Aaron does, like, he will go at them other dudes as far as cause I do remember, like, Aaron used to send me screenshots of stuff of him emailing them or typing in their chats, or like he'll screen record him calling in their shows and all of that stuff, trying to get them to do it. But I just think the whole situation could have been handled completely different. Like, us, all you do is just call and talk about it. Like, all this is completely unnecessary. And I hope you understand.
Oh, and Aaron,
I feel you.
And Aaron, let me ask you this too, because I don't know if it was you. Because I've had multiple people reaching out to me asking me if I debate somebody. But I recall telling somebody, I don't even want to debate about the law, really. I've said that before. I don't really want to debate about the law really that much with Christians. You know what I'm saying? I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
And, before you called in, and I know Sal was going to open up the phones anyway, but I was going to also let people know that in this T.S.A. series, I will be taking requests. So if you want me to, I may not be able to debate or want to debate these guys, but what stops you from coming on my channel and say, hey, Josh, do a T.S.A. video on Sam Shimon? Or do a T.S.A. video on whoever else you point out. That's what I was going to tell people anyway. I even got it at the end of my video. Debating ain't the only way I can get my point across. I can also do these T.S.A. videos. And I'm going to tell you like this. I honestly believe that I accomplished more with my T.S.A. video I did against Jabari than I ever could have, even if he came on Debate Talk for You. You know why?
Right.
Because if he came on Debate Talk for You, and I'll still debate him, I'm not knocking the show. If he came on there, he's going to bring his audience with him. He debated against Dr. Vince Bantu. I am very objectional. Dr. Vince Bantu is what we would call a Sunday Christian, right? But pound for pound, Dr. Vince Bantu, in my honest opinion, he smoked Jabari. He was bringing his history. He was bringing Bible passages, and he was just breaking it all down, right? He smoked Jabari. But guess what? When you go back to the conscious community, when you go back to them, they're all in the comment section still saying, oh, Jabari did his thing. Jabari did his thing. Jabari did his thing. But you know where they're, but do you know where they're not, what comment section they're not in saying that? Under my video. I haven't restricted anybody for being able to post under my video. And it's on Priest Daniela's channel. He uploaded. Shout out to Priest Daniela for looking out like that. His channel got the most views with the video, right? And it's also on the Judah channel. They call FOPE Israelites. Shout out to them. They got it posted on their channel. Also, shout out to Black Jesus Minister. He got it posted on his channel, right? So these brothers coming together, and they're supporting me, even though we don't even all share the same ideology. Now, let me ask you another question, Aaron. This ain't to attack you. When was the last time you saw anybody do anything that brought so many people of diverse beliefs together to support him like that? When was the last time you saw that?
What, on Sal Show?
On Sal Show, yeah. On Sal Show, like, or in the Hebrew community. Well, one person from a different camp, he do something, and all the other people from the camp get back. You don't see that. ISUPK do something, and they do a lot of good stuff. But I don't see that many people just rallying together with them. It's always been a lot of division. But all of these brothers, even though we differ on a lot of views, them brothers still got my back against the big enemy. And the big enemy is the one that's telling everybody to put down the Bible. This is a nice analogy that I learned from Brother Bowie. I came from the Israel of God. This is what Brother Bowie used to always say. I don't know if he's still saying it now, but he used to say it when I was going there. He used to say, you arguing with somebody who also believes the Bible, right? While somebody is on the outside who's telling everybody to put the Bible down all together. He said, that's like you arguing over somebody, you're arguing with somebody over a room in the house, and somebody on the outside of the house about to blow up the whole house. It don't matter who wins in the room, the whole house about to get blown up.
Right.
That's what Bowie used to always say, and that stuck with me. That's how I feel about what's going on now, right? Jabari, Polite, Shaka Amos, Young Pharaoh, just to name a few, they're all on social media convincing people to put down the Bible, New and Old Testament, Trinity or no Trinity, law or no law, put it all down, right? Meanwhile, we don't hear arguing over each other over doctrine, and they convincing people put the whole Bible down. They blowing up the whole house while we arguing over rooms in the house. That's why I focus my attention on them, and I know it had a striking effect because my video wasn't even up for 2 days. It didn't even have 500 views, and within 2 days, I'm getting calls from people saying Sarnetta and Jabari reached out to them, and he want to get at me. They want to get at me and get me over there right now, like soon as possible. Let's set something up. That's how I know I'm putting in the work that's getting people to wake up and listen to some stuff. Because if they didn't see me as a threat, they were like, oh, they're just some old fool talking. He ain't even got 500 views on his channel. We ain't done that video. You got people on social media right now that did videos about Jabari, videos about Sarnetta, videos about Sarnetta and Jabari. Videos been up 3-4 years. 6,000-7,000 views in the double digits, in the tens of thousands, right? I ain't never heard him try to get anybody else, like, get at them like that because they don't see them as a threat. They ain't see like, ain't nobody listening to them. They ain't really bringing nothing out, yada, yada, yada. But I do it. My little small YouTube channel don't even got 3,000 subscribers. Ain't even been up 2 days, and already, we got to try to get this dude out of here right now. We got to get him out of here. Let's go ahead and get him on the show, embarrass him. Let's hit him with a bunch of questions, make him look stupid, make him trip over his words so that we can reinstate confidence in Jabari. I know the game. And for the record, I never said I would never go on Sarnetta TV. I never said that. I just said I'm not interested in doing it now. I'm not going to turn around and debate them. I'm on a whole new mission here, bro. My mission is to expose people who are lying on the Bible and who are telling people to put it down altogether. I don't agree with a lot of stuff ISUPK teach. But I ain't never heard General Yohana tell Tazariot to go out there and tell people to shoot up the Bible, throw it on the ground, it's some bull. I ain't never heard anybody from AOC said that. I ain't never heard anybody from Lions of Israel said that. I ain't never heard Sam Shimon say that. I ain't never heard Vocal Malone say that. I ain't never heard Faithful to God say that. Them guys ain't saying stuff like that. And the crazy thing is,
right,
all these people I named, including myself, you know the one thing we all got in common? We can't stand that conscious community. And we've all been putting up a fight against it. So why not we all just come together and run them off the block, and then we can settle our differences afterwards? How about we do that? I'm just saying. It sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, I appreciate your call, Chief, but I do have another caller standing by. Once again, I appreciate your call.
Yeah, no problem.
Once again, the number is 563-999-3674. Again, I appreciate the family that's tuning in, checking out the program on social media, on BlogTalkRadio. I'm going to take your calls. Again, the number is 563-999-3674. Simply press number 1. Some people are actually getting back to me and saying they're pressing number 1, but I'm not seeing that for a few people, but we do have, some that's I can see. But again, then send me an email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, the letter U, @gmail.com. I guess type in your number, and I can try to find you on the switchboard if you're pressing number 1 and it's still not working. If I don't see you. But let's go to the next caller. Let's go to 530. You are live.
Greetings and much love to the brothers. Praise the Most High God. It's B.A. Ben Abraham out of Sacramento. What's good, big bro Josh? What's good, Sal?
What's up with your B.A., Maracus?
What's good? I would just say this in defense of Josh. I remember nearly 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, it was me, Sal, Josh, Zadok, and Anonymous Hebrew, and we all got on the phone, and we were all talking about how can we make Debate Talk for You the number 1 brand, the number 1 debate platform all over, beyond the internet. And Josh, and one thing about a lot of people don't know about me and Josh is an older brother in the faith to me. He gives me wise counsel constantly. Me and Josh are always in contact. He's always encouraging me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I remember right before Josh released this video that he just released a few weeks back. He told me how powerful it was going to be, and he always kept reminding me over the last couple of years that he was going to bring it back to Debate Talk for You, and the sheep work. I don't know if you're still listening, but overall, man, our goal is just to expose the lies, to expose anyone that's speaking against the Word of God, whether they be with it or against it. Is all we do on Debate Talk for You is just expose the lies and edify the people. A lot of people have come and gone on Debate Talk for You, and the reason why a lot of them are left because they can't come on here and just talk in your kind of way. Sal has a standard. Everybody claims to be an intellectual, but for some reason all these intellectuals run and go somewhere else so they can use foul language to act their shoe size. All these men in their late 30s and 40s and up want to act like a bunch of teenagers. But for some reason, when it comes to Debate Talk for You is not good enough. No, because we're not going to allow you to come on here and act niggerish. That's just pretty much what it is. Excuse my language, brothers. But that's just what it is. Debate Talk for You, we set a standard. We don't care about clout. We don't care about clicks. None of that. Come on, Debate Talk for You. Put your information out there and let the people decide who won or who brought the best information. It's not about vainglory. You got vainglory all over the internet. And you have Hebrews participating in it, and you have Christians participating in it. So over here on Debate Talk for You, it's always been a plan of Josh to bring everything back to Debate Talk for You. I've said it myself. I would not go anywhere else. And I've been invited on various platforms. Nothing personal against them brothers is doing their thing, but I've always told all of them, I'm sticking with Sal, my brother Sal. That's my brother. Sal has looked out for me and given me wise counsel as a little brother as well. So my loyalty is to the Most High God, and I'm going to show that with my loyalty to Sal and Josh and Debate Talk for You brand. Much love to Ashanti. I love all y'all with the love of the Most High God, and I'm out. Shalom.
Shalom. Praise God. And there's just another testimony. That's another testimony because I had forgot that I had that conversation with BA. We talked about it recently, but that totally slipped my mind tonight. But you was on the line, like you said, Sal, and that was like 2 years ago. I said I had been racking my brain trying to come up with something, And that's what this is, Avery, if you're still listening. That's what this was all about. This was something I had been set out to do. So even if you, and I know it's all cleared up now, I'm not trying to bring it back up, I'm just saying, but even if you had felt that way and it had actually been the case, then it would have still been my bad because I had a previous commitment that I had to do, and I shouldn't have made no commitments to you anyway, which I didn't. But I'm saying if I had done that, that would explain why you would have felt like I just kind of just put you on the back burner and focus on this, because this was something I had already been planning to do anyway. But that's all I wanted to say about it. Antoine said he had to step away for a minute. He texted me that, so he'll let me know when he's back.
All right, no problem. No problem. All right, family, once again, Taking Shots, the YouTube series by special guest brother Josh. And someone asked me about your title that you have on your YouTube page. It's called Taking Shots, Hebrew Israelite Misogyny in the Bible. So some people want some clarity on that. What does that mean? Hebrew Israelite Misogyny in the Bible.
Okay, well, if you go to the YouTube channel, what I like to do, any video that I'm taking shots at, that's what the T.S.A. stands for, taking shots at, I have the link of whatever video that I'm taking shots at so people can go and watch it in its entirety, in its original form, unedited by me, so nobody can come back later and be like, oh, that brother didn't really say that. You're twisting out the content. That's why if the video still is available on YouTube, I provide the link. But the title of the video is titled Taking Shots at Jabari Osaze's, that's apostrophe S, Jabari Osaze's Hebrew Israelite and Misogyny in the Bible lecture. And what that means is I was taking shots at a lecture that Jabari Osaze did, claiming that the Bible and Hebrew Israelites teach misogyny. And misogyny is defined as hate towards women. So I was debunking every claim that he made. He had like a whole lecture, like a whole presentation, and he had all these points that he was bringing out. I went through his whole lecture from beginning to end, pointing out all the errors and even straight up lies that he was making. And the point of these T.S.A. videos is that I'm going to be doing the same thing for several videos that people have been doing on YouTube. I'm not going to lie. A lot of them are going to be from 5-Letter TV. I'm not going to lie, but it's not limited to 5-Letter TV. And that's all I'm doing. And I'm not doing this to try to get these brothers to debate me. That's not my goal. But if they do want to debate me, number one, it'll have to be when I feel like doing it, because right now I'm not in the mood to really debate anybody. That's not why I did this series. But if they do want to debate me, it will be on Debate Talk for You. Not just on Debate Talk for You, but if they really want to get at me that bad where they can't wait, then they got to come over here and do it. When I feel like I'm ready, then I may debate them where they want me to debate them. But right now, the whole point of this is something that people have been asking me to do for years. People have been asking me to basically review other people's stuff and let the people know what they got right and what they got wrong. This is what everybody been asking me to do. Like, I get people, like, long before, years ago, I'll do a video, just point out something that somebody said. You can go under my video. I did a video titled Hotep Hustlers. That was like 2 years ago. I did 2 volumes of that. And I was just showing, like, what a bunch of people in the country community said that was wrong. But I think the first video I did, somebody came in the comments and said, like, you need to do a video on Young Pharaoh. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people have been asking me to do this. And that's what I'm doing, because a lot of people don't, even though they want to, they don't know how to go behind people and fact check people, because that's not being really taught in the conscious community. That's not really being taught. That's the reason why people can get away with saying so much. There's no academia in the conscious community like that. Now, you got a lot of people that do take shots at other people's stuff. They're like, oh, no, he got that wrong. But there is really technically, if you really want to get technical, there is supposed to be a peer review any outrageous claims people make. And you got people in the conscious community saying Jesus never existed. And I'm like, nobody is going to do a peer review on that statement. There is so much material that you can go to academically and historically prove that Jesus existed as an actual person. And you got people today saying that, and that's become a common belief over in the conscious community. Jesus is a fairy tale, or Yeshua, whatever name you want to call him. They say the man did not exist. And I'm like, there's no way you can walk into a real college or university and go to a history class and make that claim and not get academically challenged, not just challenged, but academically challenged. There's no way you could do that. I was watching Jabari and Garfield Reed. They were debating just the other day. Garfield, he's not a Christian, but he believes in the historical Jesus, that Jesus actually did exist, right? And he's bringing out he's not actually citing the sources, but he's telling you what source said it. So if you're really interested, you can just go look up what he said, and you'll see he was telling the truth. But he's going at Jabari, and he's giving Jabari documented history outside of the Bible on the existence of Jesus, and Jabari just shaking his head, and everybody in the comment section like, Garfield crazy, Garfield don't know what he's talking about. And I'm like, Garfield's the only person dealing with academia. He's the only person between the two of them that's actually telling you, I can take you to actual sources. But why is it like that? Why is it that the majority of the people disagree in the conscious community with the person that can actually take you to documentation and agreeing with the person that's just saying, no, that ain't the case? Because there are no peer reviews in the conscious community. There's no fact checking. There's no quality control. You know, if you ever worked in a factory before and you're producing something, mass producing something, you got something called quality control. What that means is that you're mass producing a bunch of T-shirts. Quality control makes sure that you don't put out no irregular T-shirts, meaning T-shirts where the neck hole is missing or it only got one sleeve. You know, there's no quality control in the conscious community. That's just a fact. There's no quality control on Five-Letter TV. And that's not Five-Letter's fault. That's not on him. I don't want to call in, man, you taking a shot at my show. I already said for the record, it's not your fault. But there is no quality control. So we need this. We need peer review. That's how they do in universities and colleges. When they put information out, they have people who specialize in the same field and say, wait a minute, we ain't going to let this hit mainstream until we check behind this to make sure this is legit. Okay, the author, you know, he has sources. He cited everything he said. He got the proof. He did that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put that out there. But when you go on social media, it's not just on the TV. I don't want nobody to think I'm just talking about him. But it's anybody that's claiming any kind of scholarship. We don't have anybody peer reviewing. We should have peer reviews for everything that comes out. Everything. And I ain't talking about nobody who's just hating, because you're going to always have haters just disagreeing with whatever. I'm talking about people who are honestly assessing what's being put out, and they also specialize in that field. I've been studying Kemet for over 20 years. I think I'm qualified to speak on it. I've been studying the Bible just as long, so I think I'm qualified to speak on it. That don't mean I'm the only authority or I'm the only person that can speak on these things, but I think I'm qualified to watch a video and determine if what they're saying is true or not, because I'm fact checking them. If you go look at my video on my YouTube channel, it's called Taking Shots at Jabari Osave's Hebrew Israelites and misogyny in the Bible, something like that, in under 39 minutes. If you go look at that and watch my video, I don't just disagree with the brother. I don't be like, no, you wrong about that. Pew. No, that ain't what they say. Pew. I don't do that. I go behind him and I show exactly where he went wrong. I show where he would quote part of a story from the Bible and don't quote the entire story. That's called lying by omission, by the way. I don't know if a lot of y'all know what that means, but lying by omission means leaving stuff out of a story for the purpose of distorting the story. So you're not just straight up lying. It's not like you're saying something that the story didn't say, like the story said go up and you say the story went down. But it's like when you say the story said go up and you don't mention where he went up to, and you make it seem like him going up was a bad thing, him going up was actually to get away from something bad. That's what you call lying by omission. And that's what a lot of stuff that I saw going on that he was doing in that video. And this is an intelligent brother. He got a degree, from my understanding. He graduated from college. So I know he's not stupid. So I can only assume that if you're not stupid, you're deliberately doing this. But why would somebody feel comfortable enough to stand in front of the thousands of people that tune in to Five-Letter TV and just feel comfortable enough to put out falsehood because he knows there are no peer reviews? Peer reviews keep people honest. It keeps you making sure you get the best. This is another reason why I'm doing this debate talk for you. I'm trying to make sure y'all get the absolute best that everybody puts out. Not just what I put out. This is going to keep everybody honest. Well, I don't know if I want to put this out, man. I know it's some bull, but you never know. Brother Josh might be watching. Now, he fact-checked me. Now I'm looking stupid because I'm trying to take shortcuts so I can get some popularity and make a good little change in my pocket. instead of giving people the best scholarship available today. And that's what peer reviews do, is keep people honest. And this is the reason why that brother got so upset, because I peer reviewed him. That's all I really did. The taking shots, that's just something flashy to get your attention, to get you in the door, and get you learning. But these videos are nothing but peer reviews. That's all they are. But that's all I want to just speak on that, Sal. You got somebody else to come in or whatever?
All right, family. Once again, the number is 563-999-3674. Like I said, we have a lot of people on the phone lines. I see you, 315 will get you. So press number 1, guys. That's press number 1. Once again, the number is 563-999-3674. And by the way, Josh, a lot of people don't know. People sometimes be asking me behind the scenes, where do I find Brother Josh? Let them know. A bunch of classes on Saturdays.
Oh, no doubt. Here's the thing about it. I have classes every Saturday or every Shabbat, like I always say. I'm saying, like I even said on my show on Blog Talk Radio, just like on Sal Show, you know. And we have them at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. All you got to do is call in. Let me make sure, because hold on, here we go. It don't make no sense, Sal. I still haven't memorized. Our number yet. You know the call-in number? Yeah. It don't make any sense.
Yeah.
I got it right here, though.
No problem. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. Let me see. I got it right here, though. I always got it somewhere handy where I can pull it up. Here we go. The number, every week, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and he has the link, but the dial-in number is 319-527-6197. 319-527-6197. We go on the air every week at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We play some nice little spiritual music for you for about 30 minutes. Then class started at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to let everybody know that to show y'all that these series of videos that I'm doing is a service to y'all, go on my channel, watch the video, and in the comment section, if you have a video you would like me to peer review, then just post the name of that video and the link, and I'll take a look at it, and it might be the next video I do. That's all you got to do. I'm here to serve y'all. Like, y'all feel like, hey, like, this is how Aaron feels. Aaron's like, yo, Josh, I want you to do this. I want you to do that. And I'm like, yo, I'm here for you, right? But this is what people have been asking for. So if you see somebody teaching some false doctrine and you know it's some false doctrine, but you know you don't know how to really go behind them and prove it, but you know it's some BS, then hit me up and be like, Josh, you need to do a T.S.A. video on Young Pharaoh, or do a T.S.A. video on Shaka Amos, you know? Now, I'm not going to do T.S.A. videos on them. They just talking about Kemet, you know what I'm saying? If they're attacking the Bible, I might do a T.S.A. video. But here's the thing. If you just strictly believe in Kemet, you don't even believe in the Bible. If you just believe in Kemet, and you come onto my video and tell me, hey, I just believe in Kemet, and I just seen such and such to do a video about Kemet, and I want to know from a Kemetic perspective if that's true. Can you fact check for me? I'll do a video on that. I'll do a T.S.A. video on that. And if I found out that they were telling the truth, I just hit you back like, yo, man, I ain't really find nothing in there. You know, dude was telling the truth. So I'm not going to do a video against somebody who's telling the truth. This is the whole point of these videos. I'm giving y'all what y'all want. I'm doing the work for you, and I'm showing you how to do the work for yourself. What more can you ask for?
All right. Once again, like I always say, the links in the description box, family. For those that's listening, go to his channel on YouTube. I believe it's Truth Teacher 3010. It's the same link, right, Josh? Truth Teacher 3010 on YouTube.
Yes, sir. That's all they got to do. That's all they got to do.
Yeah, go check it out. We got some callers standing by. And I'm checking my email, debatetalkforyou@gmail.com. That's debatetalk, the number 4, letter U, @gmail.com. And if I see any questions, I'll read them out. But let's go to the phone lines real quick. For those that are new to the show, there's no foul language. Got to keep it clean. Got to keep it professional. Got to put it out there. Let's go to 315 live. Three one five, you're live. Yes.
Peace. This is Sound Mind. Shout out to
Hey, what's up?
Brother Josh, Brother Sal was good.
Going on, brother?
Not much. I'm chilling. I just got in, so what I missed? I'm just trying to see what I missed so far. Just give me a little recap. But that's all.
Oh, that's kind of odd because you usually be the one giving the recap on our show, Sal, man. That's crazy. You usually be the one giving the recap. Just basically just letting people know the purpose of why I created the T.S.A. series. It's a service to the people. It's me answering something they've been asking me to do forever. You know, just letting people know that it's a form of a peer review. That's what it is. And there's no peer reviews going on social media when people put out what they are calling scholarly information. And because our people don't really know how to fact check behind people, these things are necessary. We need somebody that's going to keep other people honest. I want people to peer review me. I don't care anything about that. Like, when I did the video, when I do videos like this, y'all do understand that I know that somebody can respond in a video to what I said. I'm totally aware of that, and I'm totally fine with that, right? But if you do respond to what I said, and it's just some old BS just to try to deflect people from me showing that your scholarship is actually faulty, then I'm going to come at you again, and I'm going to put you on blast again. But this is what this is all about, and I shouldn't be the only person doing it. I encourage everybody to, in addition to teaching their people, they need to open themselves up. You know what I'm saying? They need to subject themselves to being peer reviewed. And a lot of people don't want to be peer reviewed, sound mind, because a lot of people know that what they're teaching is some nonsense. They know it's lies. So a lot of people are going to object to being peer reviewed because they don't want the people to know. They don't want anybody going through their material with a fine-tooth comb. And that's what I'm doing. And y'all need that. And once you see me do it enough, you're going to learn how to do it. And that's what we need. This is the reason why a lot of times when debates happen on anybody's platform, Fallability TV, Debate Talk for You, very little change happens. The people who believe a certain way still believe that way. I tell people all the time, people telling me, oh, yes, Josh, he's Debate Talk for You champion, and yes, Brother Josh. Okay, then how come I can't bust 50 people in my Sabbath class on a regular every week? You follow what I'm saying? The debates must not be enough to win you over completely to what I do. You follow what I'm saying? You know, I love the debates, and they all good, but we need something that's going to really set people in their spirit. Like, they're going to see this stuff like, okay, man, this is what it is. This is where I need to be. I need to be on this platform listening to debates on Debate Talk for You, because they don't just debate each other over there. They actually got certified people who know how to peer review other people. They know how to do that, and I can even show people how to peer review. If you're interested in learning that, I can show you how to do it. But this is something we need, and anybody, and I'm letting y'all know right now, anybody who calls in and objects to a peer review, they got an agenda. They got an agenda. They don't want you to know that they lying. Anybody who objected to that. If I'm telling the truth, I can have anything now. Yo, here go my video right here. Like, one thing I didn't like is when they responded to my video. And by the way, when I say respond, don't confuse that with address, because they didn't address anything in my video. I'm talking about Jabari and Finetta. They didn't address anything in my video at all. But when they commented on it, they didn't address any of the source material. They just, made fun of the approach that I took, or critiqued, you know what I'm saying, the approach I took. But we need somebody that's going to be like, yo, this is what he said. This is why or why not is correct. And you're going to always have somebody disagree with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a problem with that. I had people disagree with the stuff. I had to go in the comment section. I had to, go outside a couple of people's head in the comment section because they weren't really dealing with the information. They were just saying, well, I disagree. I see it this way. But you first got to show that what I'm saying is incorrect. But we need these peer reviews, Ariel. Don't you agree?
I agree 100%. It's time for us as a so-called community, right? They always preaching community. They always preaching togetherness. And if they are preaching, community, then someone in the community needs to hold them accountable, because we can't have liars in the community. We can't have pedophiles in the community. We can't have, deceitful and manipulative people in the community if that's what we're going to be. So fact checkers are very important. It's something that they understand in the world of academics, and it's time for us to understand that as well, because we can do what they do and we can do it better. A peer review is helpful. A peer review is not to slander you. A peer review is not to make you look like a liar. A peer review is not to put you down. A peer review is to help you get the information correct. If you love someone, you get the information correct. You give the people who you love correct information. You're not going to give the people who you love false information. So a peer review is just someone trying to help you give correct information. That's all. That's it. There's no hidden agenda behind it. If someone doesn't want a peer review, like you said, there's a hidden agenda in taking that stance of I don't want anybody to fact check me. Now you're getting into, totalitarianism as a community leader, right. And you can do whatever you want. So we can't have that.
Here's something else you said that stuck out to me. You said there's no accountability. That's another thing, too. That's another problem that I have, with people who go on social media and they teach stuff and they get it wrong and they lead people astray. There's no accountability. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that that we should raise up and if somebody teaches us something wrong, we see them on the street, we need to beat them down or curse them out. No, I'm not saying that. But we need to hold them accountable in the sense of we're not listening to you no more. We need to let them know that. We need to let our voices be heard. Yo, bro, dude just fact check you. Now, unless you come back and show that his so-called fact check were actually him lying on you and you were right all along, unless you do that, then we're not going to listen to you anymore. We're not going to send you any more money. We're not going to go to any more of your lectures. We're not going to buy any more of your books. This is how you hold people accountable. But they don't do that in the conscious community. Somebody can get exposed for lying in the conscious community, and their book sales will still be selling. People still buy their books. Because as a people, especially black people, we don't hold anybody accountable when it comes to academia. We'll hold them accountable if they late on our check. We'll hold them accountable if they're supposed to fix our car and they don't do it. You follow what I'm saying? We hold people accountable for stuff like that. But when it comes to our education, we are too forgiving. There's a lot of stuff I don't heard said in the conscious community that it has been exposed to be wrong by other people, not even me, other people. And the person that got exposed is still a polarizing figure in the conscious community. And I'm like, how does that work? Where if you're not good at your job, you still get to keep it and get paid. Because a lot of these guys who do this, I hope y'all understand this. I don't know about Jabari, but I know a lot of guys who be doing this stuff like these lectures and these debates. This is their bread and butter. This is how they make a living. They doing these live streams. This is how they make a living. Through your donations, through YouTube money. This is how they make a living. And guess who they're living off of? You. You're the reason why they don't got to go out in the cold morning on September or October mornings and go out in the cold and be working outside like, say, me and Brother Ariel. You're the reason why they don't got to do that, why they're sitting in their warm houses. I'm not hating on nobody because if I wanted to, I could do it too. But I don't do it. So I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying, understand that you are the reason why they are able to live as comfortably as they do. And I'm not against anybody getting paid for putting in their work. I'm not against that. But just like everything else in this world, if they're not doing their job correctly, you need to fire them because they work for you. Anybody you're giving your money to, you do know that means they work for you. That's how that works. They're giving you some kind of service. There's no accountability in the conscious community. People lie, they get caught lying, and y'all keep sending the money in. Y'all keep going to their lectures. Y'all keep paying them. So why would they stop? Why would the quality get any better if there's no accountability? I'm going to keep right on line. There's a lot of people, I'm pretty sure, Ariel, a lot of people who saw my video against Jabari Osage. Because here's the crazy thing about it. The views are going up, but nobody from the conscious community, and I know somebody from the conscious community saw it. Come on, y'all, let's keep it real. But nobody is in the comment section from the conscious community who represent Kemet and really trying to fact check me. Nobody's saying anything. So that means they see the information and they're quiet because they know they really can't say anything against it. But watch what they do. They're still going to go right over and have the same amount of respect for this dude. Still keep sending the money if they do donate any money to him, because I don't know. Still keep cheering them on in the comment section on any other platform he's on. And that's the problem. And then we be the main people, sound mind, as a people, who will complain about oh, ain't nobody stepping up. We ain't got no real teachers. Ain't nobody really doing this and that. Yeah, because we ain't making them do it. We're not making them do it. We're not holding anybody's feet to the fire. This is how we supposed to be. This is why I love Debate Talk For You. I always tell people, Debate Talk For You got the smartest audience of any debate platform, bar none. They got the smartest audience of anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because they ask questions like, well, where you get that at? Where they say that at? This is that, and that. They got that. Other platforms really don't have that. And they don't have that, and they don't got any peer review. That's why all this madness is going around on social media right now, y'all. Somebody got to put a stop to it. I'm stepping up. I appreciate it. And I'm not just saying it's just me. That's why I got to give a shout out once again to Priest Daniel Allah, Lions of Israel. Shout out to them. Shout out to Brother Judah, you know what I'm saying, FOPE Israelite. And shout out to Black Jesus Minister, because as soon as I put this video out, all three of those brothers and their prospective supporting groups, they put my video uploaded on their channel, and they're trying to help this word get out. So this ain't even about no doctrine or whatever like that. This is these people seeing that this is something that we can all agree needs to be done. We got people lying on the Bible on purpose. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, this has done something that I didn't think it was going to do, Aria. This has actually brought people together. I was even shocked when I seen Tazariot from ISUPK. He left a comment. He left an excellent video. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about no ISUPK would ever have anything positive to say about Brother Josh. So I'm like, yo, shout out to ISUPK, Captain Tazariot, for throwing that out there. You know, that meant something coming from him to me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, that lets you know, man, that, you know, the Hebrew Israelites, yeah, we go at each other's throats, but at least they showed me that they can see who the real enemy is, and they will get behind you if you get behind them. You know what I'm saying? To get out the real enemy. Like I said, this is what I said before you came on, Ariel. Once we run them off the block, then we can hash out our differences among ourselves.
Makes sense.
All right, so, man, I appreciate you, man. And make sure you send me that link, man, you know, to your new book that you got out there. You know, quick plug. It's like, you know, let you know about it and advertise that. But make sure you send me that link, all right?
Got you.
All right, not a problem. All right, once again, the number is 563-999-3674. There's people pressing number 1. I see you guys. I see you lined up. I'm going to go down the line and get some of your calls. Antoine, are you back? I still have you on the phone lines. Antoine, are you back? Let me know if you're back. All right. I guess not, but we'll get back to them. But let's go to the next caller. Let's go to 773 alive.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, how you doing?
Yeah, what's up? Peace out. Peace out. It's Bleedo.
What's up, Bleedo? The shoemaker.
What's good, man? I just wanted to call in. I'm listening in. I actually, you know, I kind of watched the video too. I actually left a comment on the YouTube video too. I thought I finished watching it. What you did, I think it's a good idea. I think what you just said as far as like fact checking the information that's being put forth is something that, you know, we kind of, people who deal with the Bible in the sense from whether it's a metaphysical, lyrical, literal, or whatever, need to have this fact checking thing going on with the information, because that's the only way that we can grow as a people. So I feel like what you're doing is a nice step as far as just checking what everybody is bringing out, and you know what I'm saying, basically sharing your view and opinion on it. Also, I wanted to add that I'm like you as well when it comes to debate talk for you. This is a platform where I even started it. I said I wouldn't really debate on no other platform. I've been invited numerous of times to join debate leagues. And I thought about it, you know, and I still think about it from time to time because I just, you know, it's a debate bone in my body. But debate talk for you is the original, man. And it's like you said, a lot of the brothers went from here and went to the other platforms and, you know, whatever, man. But I think one thing I would like for Sal to do, and I know I said it to Sal before, we got to get you on YouTube, Sal. We got to get you to do the live streaming on YouTube. I think I can't remember. It was a show that was just on there, and I think that with the vocab was on there, and I think that one got like over 2,000 views on that one. So I think, once you incorporate to the YouTube, I think, you definitely will get the audience because these are respectful debates, like Josh was saying and BA was saying this. Now, people ain't over here cursing and acting like, teenagers. It's respectful. You have a respectful debate and you walk away from it with the information. So I definitely rooting for, debate talk for you. And, I continue to listen in to what Josh bringing out.
Praise God, Bleedo. Appreciate that too, man. And that means something, believe it or not, because a lot of people, Bleedo, they think that just because I don't bump their heads with them in the past, whether on a personal level or just on the debate level, I don't have a respect for them. I got respect for everybody I ever debated. You know what I'm saying? Because even if I think I'm right or you think you right, one thing I do know is that compared to the other person, the average person walking the street, they can't touch anybody on debate talk for you. So I'm not just dealing with, any amateurs as far as like all around, generally speaking, concerned. These are people that have dedicated themselves to some form of understanding and they put that study time in. Really, I would agree with what you're teaching or not. One thing I can say is that you discipline yourself in that particular school of thought. You know what I'm saying? And I can't do nothing but respect that. That's more than what the average person is doing, who don't even want to pick up the Bible at all or just want to sit down and believe everything somebody tells them. That's why I'm like, let's start fact-checking each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's start seeing if the information, and not just from the Bible, from Kemet, from the Quran, from anything somebody bringing out. You don't have to believe in it to determine if it's saying what they claim it's saying. And that's another problem we run into, like people in the conscious community who don't believe in the Bible at all. They think just because they don't believe in the Bible, they give them a license to lie on it. They give them a license to misrepresent it. I don't follow Kemet. I don't adhere to Kemetic doctrine, but I'm not going to lie on Kemet. I'm going to tell y'all exactly what Kemet says. And a lot of folks don't got that morality, Bleedo, to know how to critique something they disagree with or just straight up hate without lying on it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't like. You ain't got to agree with my Bible. That's not a prerequisite. All I want you to do is if the Bible says this, then say the Bible says that. I just don't agree with that. I don't like that. But don't try to say the Bible says something that it doesn't say and you don't agree with what you're making the Bible say. That's what Jabari was doing. He was doing a lot of that. He was making the Bible say a lot of stuff that it doesn't say and then disagree with that. That's called the straw man argument. He was using a lot of straw man arguments on the Bible. And I was pointing that out in the video. No, the Bible don't say that. The Bible's not saying that. If the Bible was saying that, I could totally agree with why you would have a problem with that. But the Bible's not saying that. So don't make the Bible say something. Don't make Kemet say something. That's why people are like, there's no misogyny in Africa. Last time I checked, Bleedo, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, isn't Egypt just one country in Africa?
Yeah.
There's one country. There's one country, right? So when you say Africa, don't say Africa and then beat people across the head with Kemet or Egypt as if Egypt envelops all of Africa. That's one country. It's like 54 countries in Africa, something like that. You know what I'm saying? 50-something countries, right? And you talking about this is anti-African. But every time I see you, you're wearing an ankh. You're talking about ma'at. That's only Kemet spiritual system and tradition. But see, that's another false representation. Because when I see Africa, I don't just see ankhs and pyramids. You know what I'm saying? I see the Zulus. Exactly. I see the Pygmies. I see all of them. So for you to say something is anti-African, that means you would have to go to all of those diverse cultures and show that all of them unanimously disagreed with what you're claiming they disagreed with. And you didn't do that. I think a lot of people forget that too, Bleedo. When we say Africa, we think Kemet. That's that programming that they got. You follow what I'm saying? Yep. Like Sarnetta, he says Black African Power, but his name is Sarnetta, not Kente or Matumbo. But you're saying Black African Power, but the second you say Black African Power, you throw Kemet at my face. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to, and there's nothing wrong with that because Kemet is in Africa. I'm not saying he's wrong or idealistically wrong. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that's the misconception in the conscious community. Those guys are making Kemet be Africa, and Africa be Kemet. And Kemet, or Egypt, is just one of the countries. One of them. You have to go through all of these countries. If I say something like Jabari said in this video, misogyny is anti-African. Anti-African, right? So that would mean you are presenting Africa to people as if all of Africa is united under one spiritual belief system, and there are no schisms when it comes to anything. That is absolutely false. You got some cultures in Africa that are very harsh on women, and you got some cultures in Africa that are very liberal with the women. So for you to say something that's anti-African, that is a lie. What you should say is, in this particular country, in this particular culture, in this particular tribe, they don't play that. But that's not to say that other African tribes don't play that. They might do play that. So for you to say something like that and not get fact checked, you know how old that video is that I peer reviewed, Belito? You have any idea how old it is?
No, I just actually recently saw how old it is.
It's like 2 or 3 years old. And I'm not the first person to peer review. It's another brother. Y'all go on Maccabees TV. I forget the name of it, but I think it's called Jabari Get Caught Lying Again or something. Daniel Oliver got it on there. He's peer reviewing the same video I did. He just took a completely different direction. Still was a good video. Still had the facts. Still fact checked and proved he was lying. Right? But the problem is that's 2 Bible believers who fact check you. 0 people represent Kemet. See, one thing something's wrong with that. Why is it that whenever somebody takes a shot at the Bible in the conscious community or on Find Another TV, and shout out to Garfield, because Garfield's the first person I've seen do this, and I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, if Garfield's listening, and I think even Unc from the Rock Squad don't kind of got on board with him with this. I'm not saying they're Christians or they believe in Jesus. I'm not putting that on them because they made that clear that they don't. But one thing these guys have started to do is challenge these guys in the conscious community who saying that Jesus did not actually exist, or that the whole Bible is just made up. They're challenging people on that, even though they're not Christians. They're just telling you the historicity of Jesus, right? Nobody else is doing that. See, it's okay to bash the Bible on behalf of Kemet, but if you defend anything about the Bible on behalf of Kemet, you're going to get beat down by Letter. He's going to do it personally himself. I've seen them do it. And that's not being unbiased. That's not academia. And you don't supposed to bully people in academia. You don't supposed to bully somebody for having a different belief. You don't supposed to ridicule them. How would you feel, Bleedo? You kind of have a unique view of the Bible compared to the average person on Debate Talk for you. You'd agree with that, right?
Yeah. And I want to say something about that when you finish, if you don't mind.
Right, that's cool. But how would you feel if every time you came on Debate Talk for you, because you view it a little differently than everybody else, everybody just call in and they just gang up on you and make you feel like you stupid or you're a traitor or something like that? That's not how you're supposed to do that. But go ahead, what you were going to say?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that, like basically what you're bringing out too with the Bible in the sense is like that. I just asked Sal too. I don't know if we're doing it this Monday or next Monday, but we're supposed to do it soon. I was just on there and I had a debate with Mac Thomas about the Holy Spirit. And you know what I mean, like you said, I have a unique way of looking at the text or a unique way of looking at the Bible. So, I think that I want a lot of people to understand my position with it. You know what I mean? Even if you was to fact check it or anybody else was to fact check it, that'd be cool, because I want people to understand that if a person looks deeper, and man, you had this conversation too, Josh, about the when we were talking about the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. If somebody has a deeper understanding of the Bible, if they look at it in a deeper way, that doesn't mean that they are unbelievers. You know what I mean? So I really want to, when Sal, we set it up, I really want to touch on, just because like somebody like myself or even other people, because I'm not the only one that may view the Bible as something that's deeper than what we can just like physically read. That doesn't make them an unbeliever. It actually makes them a believer in a sense, because they're going deeper than what what the eye can literally see.
All I can tell you to that, Bleedo, the only people I consider unbelievers are people who flat out say they don't believe. I've never heard Bleedo say I don't believe in God. I've never heard Bleedo say I don't believe in Jesus. And I never heard Bleedo say I don't believe in the Bible. The closest I've ever heard Bleedo say is I don't believe in Jesus the way you do, or I don't understand the Bible the way you do. But I've never heard Bleedo say I don't believe in Jesus. I don't believe in God. I don't believe in the Bible. I've never heard you say that, but I've heard them say that.
Yeah.
I've heard
most of the
them
time,
say that.
And most of the time when I debate, I bring out the Bible. So if I didn't believe in the Bible, so if I didn't deal with the Bible, why would I debate, with the Bible? That don't make sense. Like I'm not using it like how they would try to use it and go in there and say, look, this is what this say, and this don't make, what I'm saying? I'm not doing it in that sense. I'm just going in it and saying, hey, look, this has a deeper understanding. And like I said, I know you understand that because you have lessons where you break down, the deeper understanding and stuff like that. So I know you understand it. So I just want people to, get my view as far as how I see it or whatever, and how the Most High has led me to understand it, so they can see, oh, he's not an unbeliever, you know what I mean, or he's not one who don't deal with the Bible, because I'm not coming against the Bible at all. I just want people to see that it's just another view of it.
And they should listen to you with an open mind. They should listen to you objectionally. You know what I'm saying? That's how they're supposed to listen. And they need to be honest with whatever you bring out. If the brother made sense, you say the brother made sense. Because, like I said, see, fact checking, and you know this too, Bleedo, fact checking is going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they want to believe that they right. It's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. But I would be lying to you if I told you that some of these people I'm going after, they need to be taught a lesson. I'm not going after nobody who I just disagree with. Oh, Bleedo believe this. He's going to give a T.S.A. video. No, I'm not going to do that to Bleedo. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about people who are making a conscious effort to get us to put down the Bible. That's who I'm focused on right now. That's who I want to get up out of here. Those people who are lying on that. I ain't never seen Bleedo do that. I ain't never seen Bleedo go out his way to try to make somebody put down the Bible or deny God or deny Jesus. I ain't never seen Bleedo do that. So I'm not interested in people like that. I'm interested in videos that atheists make. I'm going to be doing T.S.A. videos on them. You know what I'm saying? Those the ones. Now, here's the thing, too. I'm not going after them because they don't believe in God. I only go after people who misrepresent the Bible in their unbelief of it. That's what I'm going after. Look, if you're going to deny the Bible, at least understand exactly what you're denying. I don't want you to deny God under false pretense. I don't want you being in the lake of fire and you telling God, oh, I thought that it meant this when it said that in the Bible, and that's why I didn't believe. No, I want you to know exactly what you're rejecting. Because a lot of people, Bleedo, they don't even know what they put down. They don't even know what they put down. You don't even know what you gave up. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, you in the country community, oh, Jesus come from Horus. That's why I started believing in Egypt, because Jesus come from Horus. And I'm like, no, he didn't. And if that's the reason why you put down the Bible, that'd be like you breaking up with your wife, Bleedo, because you thought she cheated on you, but she actually didn't cheat on you at all.
Yeah.
She actually didn't cheat on you at all. It was completely, that'd be crazy. But that's what a lot of people did. So you're going to put down the Bible because somebody told you the story of Jesus came from Horus, and once you find out that it didn't, you're going to still keep the Bible down? You're going to, like, if I thought my wife cheated on me, right? If I thought that and I broke up with her, and then I found out later on that she actually didn't cheat on me, even if she got remarried, I would still go and apologize to her and be like, you know what, that was on me. You were actually innocent. You follow what I'm saying? Yep. But they don't do that. They don't do that in the conscious community.
And it'll eat you up, too, knowing that you did something like that and not have the full facts and not have all the facts.
Exactly.
You know what
I mean? Exactly. But when you bring the full facts back to these people, they stay in their unbelief. So I'm like, you mean to tell me you're going to put down the Bible under a false pretense, and once you found out that it was a false pretense, you're going to still continue to put the Bible down? Everybody's not going to do that, though, Bleedo. This is the reason why they got a problem with this video that I did. This is the reason why as soon as I did it, they came right at me. I don't know if you were listening when I talked about that part. As soon as I did that video, I had Daniel Olive reach out to me and Black Jesus Miller. Yo, Sonetta and Jabari both been calling me. They want to get at you. They want to read out there. They want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because these guys know that if we bring this fact check, and I was talking to Chris Harris about it. You know what I'm saying? Me and him been talking on Facebook. A lot of people don't even know. Me and him been talking. Even he said, yo, Josh, do it. Even he gave me the green light. I thought, because of recent events, that Chris was going to be like, oh, no, Josh. Even he was like, yes, he gave me nothing but encouragement. Because that's one thing, me, like Bleedo, me and Chris, we don't have our running in the past. But one thing about Chris Harris, he loved the fact check. He loved to do that stuff, boy. He loved to do that. Boy, and don't let him find something. Don't let him find something wrong. You'll never hear the end of it. You'll never hear the end of it.
You know, me and Chris, we talk all the time, man. So I definitely know the fact check is something that he loves, man. He's definitely a student and he's a researcher, real good in the research. So I know he even probably watched the video. He probably was like, let me see if I can find something in this. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how Chris is.
Man, that dude, I think Chris used to be a housekeeper or something, man, in the earlier life, or maybe he used to clean up, because he loved going behind people and cleaning up, bro. That was just like he loved to do. And I'm not mad at him for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he believes in that. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. We all got something that we all agree should be done. Whether it's been done by me, by Bleedo, I don't care. It needs to be done. And even Chris is like, yo, you need to do this, Doc, because, they be on the line, these guys on Kemet, they be misrepresenting Kemet. And there's a lot of guys, there's another thing a lot of people don't know. There are people that believe in Kemet spirituality that actually know, and they will call these other people, they're like, man, that's not what Kemet say. They know a lot of people are faking Kemet. They know that. A lot of people don't understand. People think you can be a fake Christian, but you can't be a fake represent Kemet. You got people fake in all areas of life. You got fake Muslims. You got fake Hebrew Israelites. You got fake Christians. Why everybody think that everybody in Kemet really believe and represent Kemet the way it's really written? Why are we so naive when it comes to Kemet? You think just because somebody told you to get in touch with your African roots, that they really got in touch with their African roots? See, we don't be thinking about stuff like this.
I want to make this last point. I'm gonna fall back, Josh, so you can. I know you got the callers. If I just say this to you, man. If they want to debate, like you say, man, bring it to Debate Talk for You. I mean, they can definitely do a stream on their end as well. But I mean, definitely bring the debate to Debate Talk for You. You know, you've always been, if not the champion of Debate Talk for You, one of the top debaters of Debate Talk for You. So what other way to do it? Than to bring, especially when you said, bring back the attention. What better way than to do it than to bring it back here? And hey, if that's what they want to do, if they want to come at it, then bring it to Debate Talk for You, and then let the debate begin and let the facts come out. So with that,
if they won't be that bad, then they're gonna have to do it.
Tell them come. I mean, they can still stream it. It ain't like they ain't got their own technology where they can still stream it on their platform. But they got to come to Debate Talk for You. I mean, at the end of the day. So man, I continue to fall back, continue to listen in, man, and I'm gonna continue to watch what you're bringing out, man. So with that, peace to all y'all. Have a good night.
Praise God. You too.
I appreciate your call, man. I'm checking on Antoine in the background. I got to go in the background and check and see if he's on the lines. But once again, the number is 563-999-3674. 563-999-3674. Now, again, for those that missed the earlier portion of the show, Brother Josh has a new YouTube series called Taking Shots. Taking Shots. I have the link right here in the description box. Talking about some of the things that Jabari is seeing, trying to disregard the scriptures and the Bible. Make sure you check that out in the description box. But let's go. Let's go to the next person. Let's go to 408. You're live. 408, you are live.
Shabbat Shalom, Josh, and Brother Sal. This is Abdul. How y'all doing?
What's up, Abdul the Butcher?
Not much. I just thought I'd chime in and check out the show, man. It's good so far. I wanted to say, Bleedo was just on. I wanted to say I agree with Bleedo on the live YouTube for Sal. That would be an excellent platform for Sal, because I mean, with the way technology is changing and everything, that would definitely be a good move if you can. And also,
I'm definitely working on that transition. Definitely. Shout out to Orthodox Moore, who's doing a lot of the shows on the YouTube channel right now. And but yeah, I'm definitely working on that transition.
Yeah, and for Josh, I know you said you was taking a request, and the one I had is for Shaka Amos. I think from watching your T.S.A. video on Jabari, I've seen through that it led me to a video where he has to see some Hebrew sister on, and he wouldn't even let her spill anything from the Bible. He was kind of like going in on Sonetta, like, hey, tell her I don't believe in the Bible. Tell her I don't believe in the Bible. I'm not trying to hear that. So he kind of like went off on her. But he's one I definitely think you should keep in your crosshairs, as well as Sonetta, because he provides the platform for these people to do this stuff and, basically show out. So he's definitely one I would. So those are the two that I can name. And I did catch that Garfield read, and I had sent the link to Jeff, and that's definitely a good one. Like he was giving him some good sources, but homeboy wasn't trying to feel it. So, what did you think of it, Josh?
Well, you got you said who was giving some sources and they weren't trying to feel it? What you was talking about just then? I didn't catch that last part.
Garfield Reed, when Garfield Reed and what's his name, Jabari were on, they were like at this kind of like outside, outside setting.
Yeah. Mhm.
And he brought up Suetonius, and I bought the book Suetonius, and it briefly mentions Christians and that they were a crazy religion, and the way
he brought up Tacitus too. He brought up Tacitus.
Yes,
Garfield did.
Exactly. But I know Suetonius, the 12 Caesars, definitely has it in there, but it's like real brief.
Mhm.
But
I know I've looked at that before. It's definitely in there. And how did Jabari deal with the information? What did he do? Do you remember?
I want to say he just said that that's not providing a source. He said that's not a real source, and then
yeah, that's what he said. That's right.
Yeah, and then Garfield Reed kind of doubled back and then showed him that it was history. He said, "What do we call this?" And he's history. And he wasn't trying to feel it. So yeah, definitely.
And by the way, Sal, Antoine just texted me saying he's back. He's back.
But that's all I wanted to share, brothers. I just want to say thanks for doing the T.S.A. I really appreciate it. It's really insightful. So y'all have a good night, brothers, and do your thing, Josh.
Praise God. Thank you.
I appreciate your call, man. Antoine, you see, you on there? Radio check. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. I apologize. Well, I know ABC knows, but y'all know I just had about 4 months ago. So, it was like, around this time of night, every night it's like her crank up time, and she want to eat and be fussy and all this stuff. So I was trying to, I stayed muted, trying to get her to go to bed and all this stuff, and I got her all together now, so everything's good and I'm back.
Nah, man, it's all good. Debate talk, you love the kids. You love the kids on debate talk.
Oh, yeah. It's family friendly. I know. We got elderly and children listening on and all that stuff. I know it. But I did want to bring up something, and I wanted to get Josh's thoughts about a particular video. So remember when Garfield live streamed it and Unc called in, and if you said something about this before, then let me know. But what were your thoughts on the comments that Unc was making about, because he was basically bringing up the point, or trying to bring up the point that basically you shouldn't have been mentioning Jabari's wife in the video at all. And he was basically going in. I have my thoughts about it, and of course we've already talked about it, but I just want you to give your because I can see how some people, because Garfield ended up agreeing, like, you know what? No, I agree with you. He shouldn't have brought up the brother's wife. He never should have said that. I agree with you on all the other kind of stuff. But anybody with any logical sense they understood exactly what you did or why you did it. And Jabari was talking about his own wife in this situation, and the topic is about women in general. You know, the women are the main topic of the whole subject. But I just wanted, you to give your thoughts about, what Unc and what Unc was saying on that live stream that that Garfield was having, and they were basically saying that you never should have brought up Jabari's wife. Could you address that part?
Oh yeah, that's fine. First of all, it's been on the record, and I'm not trying to, be no instigator because this is well known in the conscious community. But first of all, Unc is on the record as stating plainly he doesn't like Jabari. He said that on more than one occasion. He doesn't like Jabari. So I found it odd that when I did a video, and I'm gonna address the stuff about the white part. So I find it odd that when I did a video about Jabari, Unc was on there getting highly upset, right?
Yep.
When 3 years ago, I did a video aimed directly at the Amin-Ra squad with Unc and Johnson Owens in it, and I don't recall him getting even the slightest upset, at least not publicly, about that. So that was odd to me that I can do a video taking a shot at you, but when I take a shot at somebody who you're on the record of saying you don't even like, you're acting like you're all upset. So I honestly believe that you just got mad because, like many people, big names in Kemet who saw that video, that this spells the beginning of the end of y'all lying to people without getting fact checked. That spells the end of that. So that's one reason why you were mad. Another reason why you were mad is because you remember that it wasn't a T.S.A. video, but I still fact checked the Amin-Ra squad. It's on my YouTube channel. It's titled The Amin-Ra Squad Are the Real Pseudo Scholars, Undeniable Proof. And it's a response video because they said some stuff about me in the video on YouTube, and I responded to that. I haven't heard anything from them since then. They fell back like they should do, like they should have did, and they need to stay falling back unless they want a T.S.A. video. Truth be told, they're going to get a T.S.A. video anyway somewhere down the line, so they might as well do whatever they want to do anyway. But number 3, dealing with the wife issue. If you watch Jabari's original video that I did a T.S.A. video on, he kept bringing his wife up. All I would do was mirroring what he was saying and flipping it back. Because he kept on saying what his wife would think about him if he was trying to push the so-called misogyny of the Bible on her. He kept saying it, like, imagine if I told my wife she had to call me Lord, because he was teaching that the Bible says that women have to call their men Lord and that a woman shouldn't have to call her man Lord. He was saying that, and he kept bringing her up, like, imagine what my wife would say. So when I brought something from Kemet, I would ask him, well, what would your wife think about this? Or what do you think about do you view your wife in this way? That's called mirroring what somebody does. See, if Unc had any kind of intellect at all, he would see that that's what I was doing. Now, if Jabari just did a video and he was just teaching about misogyny and he didn't bring his wife up at all, and I just kept bringing up his wife, then yes, you got a point. Like, dude, why you bringing up that man's wife? That man ain't said nothing about his wife. He ain't said nothing about your wife. Why you bringing up wife? But he kept bringing his wife up. He personalized. That's what you call personalize the video. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of preachers do it. Y'all don't see the Christian preachers do it. I was talking to my wife this morning. They be in the middle of a sermon, Antoine. You know how they do. I was talking to my wife this morning, and we were talking about this, and the camera might show his wife in the audience. She might be laughing. They do that. They personalize it. But you're doing a lecture about misogyny and how a man should treat his wife, and you keep bringing your wife up in hypothetical situations. Like, imagine I said this to my wife, right? So what I was doing when I went to Kemet, I was throwing those same hypotheticals at you, except from the Kemetic tradition. There's nothing disrespectful about that. I never said that Jabari disrespected Jabari's wife. I actually believe I've seen Jabari's wife speak. Went online and looked up her credentials, I actually think Jabari's wife is very intelligent. That's why I said in the video I would love to hear her thoughts on the specific maxim. I would love to hear her thoughts on it. I think Jabari has a very beautiful wife. And I'm not looking at the man's wife or nothing like that. I think from a marriage perspective, I think he's a very lucky man just based on what I see. I don't know how she is in private or behind closed doors, but what I can tell, he's a very blessed man. He has a beautiful, smart wife. So I would never go out my way to try to disrespect that man's wife, and I didn't disrespect his wife. I just reflected the same hypotheticals he kept making about his wife back at him. That's all I did.
And you did the most logical thing that any logical person would do, and he analogized his own wife several times, like over and over again. Mm-hmm. He made analogies, with his wife. He analogized his wife. So what a logical person would do is, or using that, a logical person would think, well, let's use your same analogy. You're saying that my wife would do this, this, and this, and she read this. My wife would do this and that. I said, well, and if I come back and say, well, what would your wife do if she read this? Then somebody else talking, hold on, don't talk about the brother wife. Now, you can't be saying that about the brother wife. Like, wait, what? Like, he the one brought his wife into this discussion. I'm just trying to stay on point. I'm trying to remain logical, not be illogical. I'm trying to remain on the point and help people follow along. But you mean to tell me that he can bring up a certain topic, whether it's his wife or not, you want to be emotional and sensitive about it, he's the one who brought it up. And so all we're doing is trying, like, you weren't disrespectful in any sort of way. You weren't being rude in any type of, any way, shape, or form, or any of that stuff. He was saying, he was using the Bible to try to say that my wife wouldn't get down with this, that, and the third. Well, if your wife wouldn't get, and all you're asking is, if your wife wouldn't get down with this, why, when I read into these Kemetic writings that you subscribe to, why would I read something very similar or oftentimes worse? How would she feel about that? If you're saying she won't feel right about this, it's not anything disrespectful towards her. You're bringing her thoughts and opinions into an analogy. So who are we not to ask the same question? You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with any type of disrespect. But, again, that's just a common argument that people always bring up in any type of discussion. They just try to deflect. And I think one of the key things, you already said it, he still, himself is still butthurt about what happened to him and Jonathan Owens. They never respond. They fell back. You're right, like they should have, because there's really nothing else to say. And I honestly think the same thing is going to happen. I mean, I would love to hear from Jabari. I mean, so I had to put him on a platter. I mean, like on a throne. Like he's just what you say, the Floyd Mayweather of consciousness, all this stuff.
Right.
You know, he's probably gonna have to say something, but all these dudes end up falling back. You know, Jonathan Owens.
And let me go on the record. And say this too, Antoine. Garfield Reed actually had a debate coming up with Jabari, and I don't know if that's still going to happen, but I honestly believe that pound for pound in a debate, Garfield would absolutely smoke Jabari. I've seen what Garfield can do, and I've seen what Jabari can do, and I've seen what Garfield brings to the table, and I've seen what Jabari brings to the table. But because it's more of a popularity contest than it is fact-checking, they're going to give it to Jabari. They will give it to him. This is the reason why when Jabari debated Dr. Vince Bantu, the consensus was that Jabari lost. There were even people in the conscious community that said Jabari lost. Jabari got smoked by Dr. Vince Bantu because all Jabari ever tries to do is appeal to emotion and rehash these same old tired zeitgeist arguments that's already been debunked years ago.
Several times.
Several times. That's all he does. The man is one-dimensional. There's not much to him. And then if that doesn't work, he starts invoking the name of past elders, or like they call them in the conscious community, ancestors. He'll start talking about Dr. Ben or Dr. Henry. I'm using their material. And he already knows that the majority of the conscious community has an emotional attachment to them. So all he got to do is get into a debate with Jabari and say, hey, Dr. Ben said, what I'm about to read, That's already 90% of the debate right there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
yeah. And I
that's
think,
all,
and you make,
that's all he does.
Right, and you make a good point too about like he definitely does try to, and not just him. A lot of people, just in society, the media does it. Like people who try to manipulate and deceive people, they always go to one of their favorite logical fallacies that they use is an appeal to emotion. They try to get you emotionally riled up, feeling a certain type of way. And it's not just comedic groups, it's some even church groups, cult leaders, they all use this. They try to appeal to your emotion. Men use it to abuse and manipulate women. And it's a whole bunch. I mean, people, one of the most common ones, like you said, is an appeal to emotion. And so they try to get you emotionally vulnerable so they can win an argument. When, you know, a lot of people don't understand, like, when you're emotional, you're not being logical. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not thinking, like, logically. You're just thinking emotionally. And we all know when you're thinking emotionally, we all done it, thinking emotionally, you make bad decisions, you make wrong arguments, and it's easy for you to be persuaded when you're being emotional. And that's one of the things they do. And you're right. He's one of the prime culprits, you know, out there today that's doing that. And, I mean, I'm just so interested in seeing, like, how does he respond to this? Like, what can he possibly say? It's been 3 weeks now?
Well, there are some angles he can take, but I got, like, you know how, like, you got roadblocks on all roads? I've already anticipated any type of spin because I've been watching this guy for a long time. And he's become so predictable that even when I watch him do stuff with other people and they bring stuff to him that's legit, I already predict how he's going to answer. You know what I'm saying? So I already know how he is. But the fact of the matter is, when Jabari can't out-fact you, he's going to try to out-feel you. And what I mean, he'll try to appeal to people's feelings. That's what he'll try to do. If he can't out-feel you, he's going to start invoking the ancestors, the elders. He's going to John Henry Clark you to death. He's going to Dr. Ben you to death. He's going to Ashwa Quasi you to death. He's going to throw, and all those guys were talking falsehood too. I can prove it. I got nothing but respect for the late Dr. Ben, God rest his soul, and his family, but I can take you to one of his old videos and show you where he straight up lied about something. Just because the man's dead don't mean he didn't lie while he was alive. You know what I'm saying? Still got nothing but mad love for him. If God willing, you know, if I ever live to be that man's age and I go on and y'all find something that I said that was wrong back in the day, if it was wrong, don't be like, you can't say that about Josh. He's dead. No, if I was wrong, then, you know, get it right and, you know, hope that God forgave me for that little miscalculation I made on that, right? But that's what they'll do in the conscious community. So when you say something against somebody, even if you don't invoke the name of the elder, it's going to be somebody in the conscious community that's going to track down the elder who you are speaking against, even if you don't know you're speaking against it. They're going to find that elder and link that doctrine that you're debunking to them and say, hey, man, he's going against something Dr. Ben said. And that's how they'll get you.
By the way, family, we have like 34 minutes left in the air, y'all. We have 34 minutes left in the air. We do have some more callers standing by. Once again, I appreciate the family out there that's tuning in. Get Antoine.
Yeah, I'll say before you take the next call, but Josh is right. Which see, he leads from one appeal to emotion, yeah, and that's just why education. Man, I think, Josh, I really think you should do the Great Debaters class over again in some different way, shape, or form on Debate Talk for you, so everybody can hear it. People really need to educate, because I learned this in one of my classes in college. I learned about logical fallacies, and I can't remember it was in one of my psychological courses. We learned about logical fallacies, and I remember all this stuff. I still got the book to this day, still in my house. And I remember we had a Great Debaters class, and logical fallacies is something that people really do not understand, especially, just everyday people, they don't understand it. Like you were saying, like, he'll try to appeal to somebody's emotion to try to manipulate it, and then the next thing he'll do is start invoking these other people, which is another logical fallacy, which is an appeal to authority. So, like, Ashwa Crazy said this, so that's the end of it. Like, wait, what? Who is he? Like, that's not an end all be all for a conversation or argument, or you're trying to present some information. Like, no, that's not how this thing works.
You can't just call upon some other person and say, well, so-and-so says. It's like, no, that's not logical for you to just say this person, this person, this person. So that's another problem, that, people don't really, consider when it comes to these discussions and these arguments, which is why you doing a peer review of this stuff is the most educational way for people to learn. So the way you're presenting it in an entertaining way, but it's also educational because you're learning, because that's how scholars really do stuff. They sit, like, when the scholars really do information, they don't have anything to hide. Before they even present some of this stuff, they send it out to friends to peer review it. Like, make sure I didn't make any mistakes on this. And even if that, they want to get it critiqued by an arbiter. Like, that's what an arbitrator is. They critique and they try to find flaws in something, an argument, and saying that sometimes they might be right or might be wrong, but that's the proper way to put information. And this is a lot better than a debate. I mean, because debate can be going back and forth real fast. Some people can do all types of debate tactics to try to hide stuff or expose. It's just a whole bunch of different things. But when you actually, somebody puts out a presentation and somebody comes behind your work and reviews it, that's really the best way to put two and two together, or you know what I'm saying, like, to where we can look at something and properly review, because then you can literally take the information and go compare all of the stuff, because a lecture gives somebody a full time to put the information out, and then somebody reviews it, gives you the full time to read their review, so I really think, and then you could be the judge for yourself, take all kind of notes, and they can go back and forth. So that's how real scholars do it, man. If anybody want to go back and watch, like, old videos in the 1950s and 60s and, all of these economists and stuff, like, they will literally sit down and talk about their work, and they will be reviewing it and on national TV. Like, they would do this stuff, like, over and over again. Now we got to the point where everybody with a phone is a source of news, a source of information now, to where now people are falling for anything. And what you're doing right now is the very best way of addressing this information.
All right, Josh, you still there, Josh?
I am here. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
I got you. All right, so let's go to the phone lines. Once again, we have like 30 minutes left in the air, guys. So we're going to go to the phone lines. Let's go to 813. You're live.
Hey, Josh, it's me, Chris Harris. Once again, what's going on, bro? How are you?
Chris Alexander Andreas MVP Harris III.
The great, by the way. The great. Yeah, I appreciate the comments that you gave me earlier. The energy is much felt. I just wanted to say, just doing a lot of peer reviewing on a lot of the books that the conscious community has wrote, even the books on Zion Lex, and listening to a lot of their presentations, a lot of things, and I beg anybody to do this, cite their bibliographies and cite their sources so you can know whether or not what they're saying is true or false. A lot of these gentlemen are giving out a lot of misinformation about the biblical narrative, as well as the stories of Jesus. You see what I'm saying? There are a lot of things that don't correlate with the biblical narrative that they try to cite and say goes with the biblical narrative. And I want to say something real quick. Even I had to concede to Garfield when he said, well, this is what Tacitus is saying. And I was skimming through every article I could to disprove, no, Tacitus is a forgery. Tacitus is nonsense. It's there. He said that. And if we're going to cite Herodotus, if we're going to cite Pliny the Younger as primaries when we're dealing with histories or historicities of antiquity, then we also must cite Tacitus on what he said about the man that these apostles, or who they called Jesus. He said Pontius Pilate killed a man they called the Christ. And this is something that we're going to have to accept. Now, whether you want to believe in the miracles or not, that's on you. But it is showing, and I have to concede that point, that it is showing that he is a historical character. I have to concede to that because I don't have anything against it. Just speaking from a scholastic position, I don't have anything against it. So I really want to tell everybody that I told Josh, go after it, because a lot of the information that they're handing out is, in fact, inaccurate. And the teachings of Ptah do speak misogynistically against women. And that was one of the things I had noticed also. So you can't cite the Bible as being misogynistic without first citing the Egyptian text that you claim to represent as being misogynistic. That's called being a hypocrite. And also, I do want to sit up there and tell people who listen to the gentleman at Sonnetter that, in fact, that spirituality does not start in Kemet. Kemet was a baby on the Nile. I don't know why there's this narrative that Kemet is the most ancient civilization on Earth. It's just not true. As I said before, it was a baby on the Nile. And you guys really got to put homework in. And as stated before, even I have to concede that point when it comes to the historicity of the man they called Christ. Go ahead, Josh.
Oh, appreciate that. I mean, I have myself on mute, so hold on one second. Because, you know, I'm still trying to get over a cold. And I want to be coughing all into the mic and all that, you know, like clear my throat.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I'm just getting off of home from a funeral, so yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, man. But yes, and I was telling people that yes, when I brought this to you, you did, you know, you were very encouraging and said it needs to be done, you know, and like I was saying to Bleedo earlier, I don't know if you were listening when me and Bleedo was talking, but I was like, you know, Chris loves to fact check behind people. This is a crusade that you were on before I decided to do these particular form of videos. So I was like, I know Chris. That's why I sent it to you. You know, me and you. Last time we talked, we was on good terms. You know that. Last time we talked. So that's why when I sent that, I said, ooh, man, Chris going to get a kick out of this. He's just going to get a kick out of what it's going to cause. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get a kick. He's going to get a kick out of it. That's why I sent it to you. You know, and I sent it to Garfield, and Garfield live streamed it on his channel. But, you know, Unc had to play interference, you know, because that's what Unc does, you know. And I'm not trying to cause a rift between Garfield and Unc because I know they cool. You know what I'm saying? So if Garfield felt the way, if Unc felt the ways about it, and that's his boy, and he wanted him to stop the live stream of my video, because Garfield don't owe me nothing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even have to start a live stream. I didn't even ask him to do it. He offered to do it. And even if he did stop it, guess what? There were still people on his channel who, if they wanted to see the rest of it, because he showed it on his channel, they could go to my channel and look at it. So I still got shouts out to Garfield for doing that, because there's more than anybody else in the community did for my video. I can tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Right. But the whole point is we need a group. We probably even need a committee. I would go that far with it, Chris, of people who meet, fact check what people saying. You follow what I'm saying? Like they just sit around and they watch videos like, yo. But go ahead.
And they go back and teach somebody else's argument without even fact checking the facts that they first brought forth. I understand what you're saying. And that's called being a pseudo, because you'll hear people do these type of things. You're like, wait a minute. This is someone else's argument that you're citing, and you haven't even searched the bibliographies nor the citations that he used. You're saying the exact same thing that Gentleman A is saying. And many times, these gentlemen on Sonnetter, and this is not a knock against Sonnetter because it is a good channel. It's finally a place where we can all go and learn something, hopefully. But you already took the steam away from me when I said it's an appeal to emotion, an appeal to belief. Hey, listen, everyone in the Levant, the Nile, the Mediterranean, Asia, they all have their own spiritual systems. And these systems were tools and magnets to make their societies a better place to live. And that's what spirituality is supposed to do. I want to say something in closing here before I go. My grandmother, we buried her today, and she It was a Catholic ceremony, and I read the eulogy and I had to read the prayers. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the rituals that I was witnessing in Catholicism, or what I saw with the Catholic ritual. And even the gentleman, the father or the priest who was presiding it, he was letting everyone there know this is what we do, this is why we're doing it, this is what it's for. And I actually enjoyed it because I enjoyed the study of esotericism or religious studies in other civilizations. I also recently did a video on my channel where I'm saying is there's no real need to attack the biblical narrative in the ways that most people do, including myself in the past, and you non-messianic maniacs who are hypocrites, but that's neither here nor there. Shout out to Big Dre. But these things are written to teach us things about ourselves and about the people around us. And I think we should just, if you don't want to believe in the biblical narrative, there's no reason to lie on the biblical narrative. For all of you all that hate Jesus, I think you really got to do a check on yourself, because I reject the entire New Old Testament, but I like Jesus. Why lie? He's the best thing in the entire Bible. There's nothing wrong with what he was teaching. And he made it quite clear, you guys close up the kingdom of heaven, for you yourselves never go in. So I just want to say in closing, shout out to Josh. And yeah, Garfield, you got me on that one. You win that war right there. You win that battle right there, bro. I've checked Tacitus. I've checked for apologetics against it. It's irrefutable. There is evidence that he existed. And to the misinformation mongers out there, beware, because people are now doing the research for themselves. And shout out to Sal Showtime and the rest of the audience for allowing me to come on here and express myself. Josh is always one of my toughest opponents that I've ever debated. And ADT themselves, thank you, and peace. One.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling. Definitely.
Appreciate that. And like I said, man, one of the things that surprised me about this video, and I'm speaking to Antoine as well, is the amount of support that people have, the encouragement and support. Like I said, and I'm going to keep repeating the names just in case they just now tuning in, Priest Daniel Allah, Lions of Israel. That brother has been very supportive. And not just, and Antoine, let me just let everybody know, not just of these videos. Priest Daniel Allah was telling people about my documentary. He was telling people about that. He gave support about that video I did against the Amara Squad. You know what I'm saying?
Sure
and
did.
of course he did, and of course he gave support about that. So shout out to Lions of Israel. Y'all go over there, check out Maccabees TV. They got some good stuff on there. Stuff I enjoy. You know what I'm saying? Priest Daniel Allah. You know what I'm saying? That brother ain't did nothing but show support for everything I've ever done. He's never wavered. He's never like, nah, bro. Every time I get him something, he check it out first. He fact check it. He say, hey, man, that's good, man. I'm going to put that out there. He always been showing support. You know what I'm saying? And now, as of now, like I'm saying, other people, like I was shocked when Garfield Reed said, yo, I'm going to put this on my channel. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked at that. Bleedo, you know what I'm saying? Like me, Bleedo, and Chris, we've been hashed it out, like, you know what I'm saying, long time ago. Matter of fact, it was Chris who actually bridged the gap between me and Bleedo and brought that little schism me and him had for years to an end. A lot of people don't know that. Chris was the one that said, let me get both of y'all on the phone. This is stupid. Come on, y'all. Y'all can just forget that. You know what I'm saying? I probably already told y'all this before. But with this video right here, I can see that it's bringing a lot of Bible believers or even Bible people who are even considering certain parts of the Bible again, or re-evaluating certain things they thought they knew, it's bringing them together. And I'm like, I look at something like that, and I'm like, yo, this is something we need to be doing. Like I said, I was at my most shock, Antoine, when I saw that comment on Maccabees TV where Tazariak said, this is an excellent video. The brother did an excellent job. That's ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, I tell anybody I don't need endorsement to believe in myself. But it's good to know that somebody who, you know, had major issues with you in the past tipping their hat to you. That's how you know you did something. When somebody who you know you bumped heads with in the past, like, say, and I'm just using Bleedo as an example. Say if Bleedo was telling everybody, I hate Josh, I hate Josh, I hate Josh. Then I do a video and Bleedo, the guy that's saying he hates you, he tipped his hat. You know you're doing something when somebody who you know you've been bumping heads with for the longest, even they got to tip their hat to you. You know what I'm saying? So this is why peer review is important. It opens up dialogue. You know what I'm saying? It opens up study. You know what I'm saying? It opens up investigation. You know, it opens up honesty. This is what we need. This is going to make us more refined. That's what I was saying. You know, I wouldn't care if we had like a whole committee where people got together and they just watched people's videos. Because think about it. This is just what I pointed out in the video, Antoine. Y'all might be able to go back and watch that man's original video and catch stuff that I didn't catch. And I didn't even put everything in Antoine that he got wrong. Because I'm trying to keep these videos short. I didn't even point out everything he had wrong. I'm telling y'all right now, sister and brother on Debate Talk for You, Jabari actually got more stuff wrong than I pointed out. So I held back a lot because I didn't want the video to be an hour and a half long. So y'all can go back and watch the original video, and if you watch it, you may find some stuff that I didn't even catch, even if I left it out. I didn't catch it. That's why we need a lot of people doing this stuff. And no, I'm telling y'all, man, I got my eye on the Sunday church. This is for Aaron. I got my eye on the Sunday church, but you better believe I got both of my eyes on that conscious community. I got both of my eyes on that. You know what I'm saying? Because those guys over there, they are teaching something that is trying to get people to completely deny the Bible, deny Jesus, just deny everything about the Abrahamic traditions and go to Kemet. And I wouldn't even be mad at them, Antoine, if they were giving you pure, unadulterated Kemet. They don't even like to talk about the homosexual deities in Kemet. Matter of fact, I want to do this for y'all because y'all will never hear this on Sarnetta TV. I'm sorry, Sarnetta. This ain't no shot at you. Just talk to your people that come on there. You'll never hear this. This is from the Literature of Ancient Egypt, an anthology of stories, instruction, and poetry. This is new edition. I got a third edition too, but this is the new edition. This is edited by William Kelly Simpson. It's the story of Horus, Heru. You got people wearing Horus shirts and Heru shirts and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think young Pharaoh named his first son Heru. This is the guy he's named after. This guy, Horus, this ain't a shot at young Pharaoh because he didn't write this. This ain't a shot at Sarnetta. This ain't a shot at Jabari. This is your tradition. Let me read something to y'all. This is the story of Horus and Set, right? Now they'll say, this happened in the spiritual world or the metaphysical world, so it don't matter. This is what the ancient Egyptians believed about their God. This is what they believed, right? This is in the story called The Contendings of Horus and Seth. The contendings. Contendings mean the fightings or the disagreements or the battles, because they was always compete with each other. Look what it says, right? This is about Horus and Seth. This says Seth, but it also be pronounced Set, S-E-T. It says, now afterwards, at evening time, bed was prepared for them, talking about Horus and Seth, and they both lay down. But during the night, so they're laying in the same bed. This is uncle and nephew, by the way. Some narratives have them as brothers, but in this particular narrative, they're uncle and nephew. Seth is the uncle, Horus is the nephew. It says, evening time, bed was prepared for them. They both lay down, but during the night, Seth caused his phallus to become stiff. Oh, and by the way, Sal, let me just give a disclaimer because this is graphic. Just in case anybody got some kids listening, this is a little graphic. So my bad, Sal. Let me just get that disclaimer. But it ain't nothing but what the Egyptian literature teach. This ain't nothing but the Egyptian literature teach. You know what I'm saying? So if you got some young kids, you don't want to hear this stuff, get them off now. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now this is your own fault now if you keep listening with your kids, right? It says, now afterwards, either time, bed was prepared for them, and they both lay down. But during the night, Seth caused his phallus to become stiff and inserted it between Horus's thighs. This is gay. He laid up in the bed. These are these gods. I hope y'all understand that. These are these gods in the country. They want you to believe that Jesus came from this guy right here, right? So Seth stuck his phallus, his penis, between Horus's thighs. Now look what it says. Then Horus placed his hands between his thighs. That's talking about like his butt cheeks, by the way, y'all. Hope y'all know that. And received Seth. So Seth did this to climax. He's anally raping Horus, right? Now look what happens. Horus went to tell his mother Isis, "Help me, Isis, my mother. Come and see what Seth has done to me." And he opened his hand and let her see Seth's semen. So he goes and he's showing his mom the semen that his uncle did. So this guy was raped, right? He was raped. In some stories, though, here's the crazy thing, Antoine. In some stories, the sex was consensual. But I'm going to show you the view that Kemet had of homosexuality, right? Because keep in mind, this is their narrative. And I think Jonathan Owens, remember I confronted him in my video, Antoine. He going to try to say this story was written by the Canaanites. No, it wasn't.
Right.
No, it wasn't. You just can't say that. You just can't find a story in ancient Egyptian mythology and you don't like it and you just try to put it on another culture. That'd be like us reading a story out the Bible and we don't like it. Oh, the Egyptians wrote that. They didn't come from the Hebrews. The Egyptians put that in there.
Yep.
That is stuff they do, right? But look what else it says. And he opened his hand and let her see Seth's semen. She let out a loud shriek, seized her copper knife, cut off his hand, threw them into the water, because some stories say she cut off both his hands, some stories say she only cut off one hand, right? Threw them into the water and restored for him his hand or hands that were equivalent. So, Isis was a goddess, so she had magical powers. So she cut off his hands that had the semen on it and created him two new hands that looked just like the old ones, right? There's a reason why she did this, right? Look what else it says. Then she fetched some fragrant ointment. Now keep in mind, Antoine, this is who they want us to believe our Jesus came from. That's what they want to believe. That's what they want you to believe in the community. Somebody show me anywhere in the Bible where Jesus was anally raped by an uncle. Why wouldn't they plagiarize that, Antoine?
Right.
He followed them there. Why they ain't in the Bible, right? They never tell you this. Jabari ain't ever read this to you. Why won't he ever read this to you? This is Horus's story, right? They don't want to give you Horus's story. You know what they want to give you, Antoine? They want to give you Jesus' story and claim it's Horus' story. Because they don't like Horus's story. That's what. Let me just break them down, y'all. Real
And a
quick.
lot of them don't even know Horus's story.
Exactly. The real reason why the conscious community wants you to believe that the story of Jesus came from Horus is because they really don't like the actual Horus story. So they'll take our Jesus and say his story came from Horus, when in actuality, y'all are plagiarizing us. We're not plagiarizing y'all. Y'all plagiarizing us. Y'all hate and are disgusted by the story of Horus. So you take our Jesus, like Chris Harris said. He made a good point. He said, Jesus is the best thing in the Bible. I love Jesus. Jesus didn't teach anything wrong. They love Jesus too. They love Jesus too, Chris. The Catholic community love him too. That's why they want to rip off his story and apply it to Horus. And then they'll tell you, no, Horus stole from Jesus. No, y'all steal it from Jesus and give it to Horus. That's what's really going on, y'all. I hope y'all understand that. And I challenge any one of them, Jabari, Polite, Shaka Amo, Young Pharaoh, Sa-Netta, anybody in the conscious community to take me to a primary source of Egyptian literature and show me the Jesus story. I challenge any one of that. Any one of them. Take me to a primary source and show me the Jesus story. Take me to the Book of the Dead. Take me to the coffin text. Take me to the pyramid text. I got them all out here in front of me, too. So if you try to lie, I got them all out here in front of me. But listen to this. Look what else it says. Watch what his mom does. This is Isis's mother. This is what they want to tell you who Mary came from, right? It says, she let out a loud shriek. Oh, okay, we already read that. Look. Then she fetched some fragrant ointment and applied it to Horus's phallus. Do y'all understand what y'all are reading here? Do y'all understand? This man's own mother is about to masturbate him. This is what ISIS did to Horus. See, you know what they'll do, Antoine? You go in the country community and they show you a picture of Mother ISIS breastfeeding Horus. They love showing you that. But they don't want no images to be in your head of ISIS giving Horus what we call a hand job. They don't want you to have that image in your head. But look what else it says, right? It says, then she pressed some fragrant ointment and applied it to Horus's phallus. She caused it to become stiff. I'm not making this up, y'all. This is in their narrative. And inserted it into a pot and caused his semen to flow down into it. So his mother masturbated him until he ejaculated into a pot. Yeah, this is the mother doing this to her own son. And they'll say, well, see, these are the gods. It wasn't actual people. The Egyptians believed they were actual people. They prayed to them. They sacrificed to them. They built temples to them. You don't do all that to somebody who you don't think is actually there. You say praises to them. I can go to the Book of the Dead right now. They got hymns to Osiris, hymns to Horus, hymns to Isis. What you doing singing to something that don't exist? That you don't believe exists. But check this out. Look, watch what else she does. Because Isis is the sister of Seth or Set. Isis at morning time went carrying the semen of Horus to the garden of Seth and said to Seth's gardener, what sort of vegetable is it that Seth eats here in your company? So the gardener told her, he doesn't eat any vegetables here in my company except lettuce. And Isis added the semen of Horus unto it. That's disgusting, sisters and brothers. She's about to feed the semen of her son, Horus, that she herself extracted from him through masturbation to her own brother. You never hear this stuff in the conscious community, and it's right here in ancient Egyptian literature. It's right here. And when you bring it up to them, they buck dance around it. Those were the gods. The gods were the highest representation of Kemet. You can't just say those were the gods. Y'all judge us by what our God do all the time. What kind of God would do this? But we start examining their gods. They got all that kind of excuse for their God. Your God did this. Your God did that. Your God did all this. Your God hardened Pharaoh's heart. Well, your gods were having anal sex with each other. Why is it okay for them to critique our gods, but when we critique their gods, they try to act like, well, they didn't believe this was literal. That's Jabari's favorite line. They didn't think this was literal. Well, how do you know? Were you back then? Well, how do you know, Josh? They did take it literal. I don't know. They built temples to these gods. They sacrificed animals to these gods. They prayed to these gods. They sing hymns to these gods. You ain't going to tell me somebody doing all that for a metaphor. I don't really believe God is there, but I'm going to pray to him and put sacrifices to him. You do all that to something that you think is real. And that's what they were doing, just like the Hebrews did it to their gods. But listen to this, right? And Isis added the semen of Horus unto it, the lettuce, Seth returning according to his daily habit, and ate the lettuce, which he regularly ate. Thereupon he became pregnant with the semen of Horus. What type of transgender crap is this, Antoine?
That's wild.
Seth got pregnant by Horus through ingesting his semen. But look what else it says, right? They'll never talk about this. Somebody call in and challenge this. Country community real quiet tonight. Somebody call in and challenge this. This is their stories. I'm not making this up. But no, you'd rather get on Sinetta TV and do a 31-minute presentation on why you don't like the Bible. Okay, we get it. You're not a Christian. You're not a Hebrew. Now, get on Sinetta TV and break this down. Jabari, break this down. Like y'all said, somebody needs to explain this to me. No, somebody needs to explain this to me. Somebody go on Sinetta TV and read the entire story of Horus and Seth in the contendings of Horus and Seth and try to spin it to make it not be gay. I can't get nobody to do that, Antoine. I can't get anybody to do it. Read this whole story and explain to me how this is not gay or why I should have anything to do with this, Phil. But look what else it says, right? It says he became pregnant with the semen of Horus. So Seth went to tell Horus, "Come, let us go that I may contend with you in the tribunal, which is the court of the gods." Horus told him, "I'll do so, surely. I'll do so, I'll do so." They both went to the tribunal and stood in the presence of the great Enid. And the great Enid is like the group of eight, the group of 9 gods. Or it just means the group of gods in general, right? The Enid. Look that up, Ennead, right? They were told, "Speak concerning yourselves." And what they were arguing over was who should be the next king of Egypt, the next pharaoh, because Osiris was dead. And Horus was Osiris' son, and Seth was his brother. So it was a typical Lion King scenario, like Scar would be Seth, and Horus would be Simba. So the uncle is trying to take his brother's throne so his son would get it. That's what's going on here. So he's trying to challenge him in court. And let me show you that Isis was a liar. And I'm going to show you that Horus was a liar, and they all lied. Both of them lied under oath. Let me show you all this, right? The president of the great need, they were told, "Speak concerning yourselves," said Seth, "let me be awarded the offices of ruler LPH," right? And LPH is like a abbreviation that they give in this book. It has it in here. I'll go back and show you what it means. It stands something like live, prosper, or something like that. And it says, "For as to Horus, the one who was standing trial, I have performed the labor of a male against him." See, this is what they don't teach you about Kemet. Performing the labor of a male means I have dominated him sexually. See, in ancient Kemet, the Egyptians believed that homosexuality was wrong, but they thought it was okay if it was in a situation where you use it to dominate a man, like taking manhood. Think about this, sisters and brothers. I want y'all to use your head and think. If they thought homosexuality was wrong in general, and Seth was trying to convince the gods that he was in the right, then why would he go to court and tell them, "I just raped Horus"? They would have been like, "Ew, you raped Horus? No, you can't be the king." He was using this as an arguing point for why he should be king. Y'all understand that? They don't tell you this stuff in the conscious community. But they got pictures and statues and T-shirts and necklaces and bracelets of Horus all over the place. Horus was anally raped. And Seth was a rapist. And he was proud of it. He went into the court. "I have performed the labor of a male." Look what it says right here. Right? He said, "Let me be awarded the office of ruler. As for Horus, the one who was standing trial, performed the labor of a male against him." The Enid let out a loud cry. They spewed and spat at Horus's face. Now, wait a minute, Antoine. Wait a minute, Sal. Why are they spitting in Horus's face? Shouldn't they be spitting in Seth's face?
Yep.
You follow what I'm saying? If I walked in the Hebrew community and I told somebody, "I just raped the man," you think that y'all are going to spit in the face of the man I raped, or are you going to spit in my face? They're going to be like, "No, man, you talking about raping a man? Ugh, get up out of here, man. What's wrong with you? I might not make it out of there."
Right.
They spit in Horus's face. That lets you see how the ancient Egyptians viewed homosexuality. They view homosexuality as, if you can take it, you the man. And the one who got punked, that's whose face you spit in. Right? But watch what happens here. It says, they spewed and spat in Horus's face. Horus laughed at them. Horus then took an oath by God as follows. So he swore it under oath. All that Seth has said is false. So Horus is a liar. Because Seth was telling the truth. He did rape Horus. That's how the semen got on Horus's hand. Horus is lying. He's taking the oath. This is who they want us to believe our Jesus came from. Some lying, anally raped, punked God. Stop me if I'm lying. Anybody on the line? Put them through. Tell me I'm lying. Let them talk. Tell me I'm lying. Put them through. If I'm lying, call them and stop me. Let's see if it's one of them. I'll pause it. I'll take a pause.
Yeah. Overtime part of the show, family, by the way. I appreciate all those who called in and stay tuned with us right here on Debate Talk Radio. But let's go to the line. Let's go to 856. You're live. 856.
Shalom, family. This is Brother Hazard from Jersey. How y'all doing tonight?
Hazardous to your health. What's up, man?
It's good to see you on here, getting with these clowns, man. I was listening to Garfield and Jabari a few days ago, arguing over the fact if Jesus existed or not, and Garfield was trying to explain even the world's leading agnostic or atheist, Bert Ehrman, even said Jesus existed, and his one of his famous quotes was, "Those vocal persons who deny it so because they have considered, not because they have considered the evidence with a dispassionate eye of the historians, but because they have some other agenda. That is why they deny that's why they deny the existence of Christ." And Bert Ehrman is one of the leading, like I said, the leading agnostics. And he actually is in the field and does the work and everything. And it's funny because I think all this plagiarism accusations comes from an amateur Egyptologist from Gerald Massey. You ever heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of Gerald Massey. He's actually the one who everybody who is in the country community who's claiming that Jesus came from hard, that's who they all follow. The amateur Egyptologist who was debunked and denied by every Egyptologist of his day. They did not take him seriously.
Yeah, I was looking up Gerald Massey and how the leading Egyptologists actually don't even take him serious. They all say he was like an amateur in the 19th century. He went in there, looked up some pictures and just pulled stories from the Bible and added to it.
Yep.
So without Gerald Massey, they won't have a leg to stand on, and he was an amateur at best.
And that's who Jabari is getting all this stuff from. Gerald Massey and all the ones who got his stuff, all this zeitgeist mess. This is the reason why when you go on Farnella TV, when was the last time you ever seen any one of them go on there and just give a complete lecture from ancient Egyptian literature? I mean, just what do ancient Egyptian literature say about how we should treat our brother? I could do a whole lesson on Debate Talk for you on that, just for ancient Egyptian literature. Just like I do it out the Bible. Jabari ain't never did that. Shaka ain't never did that. Polite ain't never did that. All they do is go on Farnella TV, grab a mic, and they'll talk for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. They ain't bringing out no authorities from Kemet. They might have on an ankh. They might have an Egyptian name. They don't sit down and go in Egyptian literature the way we come on Debate Talk for you, the way Bleedo, me, Zadok, the way we come on here and actually go in scripture and break stuff down. They don't do that. They don't do that. Jabari did that whole video attacking the Bible. How many times did he quote anything that Kemet say? Because you're doing a compare and contrast. How are you going to compare and contrast and only show one of the things that you're comparing? So that's not how they do this in Africa. Well, show us what they said about African women and their menstrual cycles. Don't just be like, that's not how they got down in Africa. Show us how they did get down in Africa. That's why I had to bring it out. Oops, you lied. They separate their women in ancient Kemet, just like ancient Israel. Got caught lying again. There's no misogyny in Africa. I think Unc Shashanki would disagree. I think Ptah Hotep would disagree. That's what they do. And the country community, they'll have the people in the country community leaving mad at you, their brother, for telling them the truth. They have them mad at you. Jabari probably got 1,000 people mad at me because of that video I did when they really should be mad at him. He the one lied to you.
Right.
You know, but you're right about Gerald Massey. That's where all that stuff coming from. I'm going to do a whole documentary on that. I'm going to do a whole documentary showing that the conscious community ain't doing nothing but repeating the false information of 18th and 19th century false Europeans. They act like they can't stand the white man. Oh, I can't stand everything y'all got over there. I can show you came from some European.
Exactly.
Jabari ain't nothing but a walking zeitgeist ripoff. That's all he is. It's so easy to pick apart Jabari. That's the one reason why I was shaking my head at Sarnetta. I'm like, how you bigging this man up like he all that? Why you getting that man the big head and that man super pseudo? Why you bigging that man up like that, man? Don't do that to him. He's a good talker. I like his spirit. He got a humble, meek spirit about him. I love that about him. But you putting that man out there like he's just a beast. That dude don't know nothing, man. I'm serious. The 10 Commandments was only written for men. There are 5-year-olds in Sunday school that know that ain't the case.
Yeah. Hey, Josh, do you have anything against the book that he proudly promotes called the Jesus Wars?
I've never read that book. I've heard excerpts from it, but I haven't read it, so I can't speak one way for it or another.
Okay, yeah, I just hear him bragging a lot about that book. To see, I guess 2nd century, maybe 1st century, there was numerous people claiming to be the Christ with the same story, a bunch of copycats. So I think he holds that. Say, oh, there was a big, it was like, I guess that's what the Jesus Wars was. I never read it either. But
I've never read that, but I've heard those arguments before, and they're nonsense. A lot of these stories that people claim Jesus copied from, they actually come after Christianity, or it's from a religion that existed before Christianity, and then after Christianity came on the scene, that religion modified itself and incorporated elements of Christianity into it. That happened a lot of times too. And what they'll do, this is what they'll do. They'll show a religion that predates Christianity, right? And then they'll show you Christianity came later. And then they'll show that religion, and they'll say, see, this religion got the same story of Christianity in it. And since we know the religion predates Christianity, that's what they copied it from. But what they don't tell you is that the religion predates Christianity, then Christianity came, then the religion took elements of Christianity and incorporated into it after Christianity came. But they want you to believe that that religion had those elements the whole time. No, that happened a lot of times in history.
Because Christianity was blowing up.
Prove that. Exactly. It was blowing up, and people started incorporating elements of it into their mystery systems. And you can easily verify this in history. But Jabari, who was a self-proclaimed historian, act like he can't do the homework. This stuff is simple. That lets me know either he's lazy, he's not stupid, so I'm not gonna give him the stupid accusation, or he's deliberately deceiving people. That's what he's doing. There's no other way I can come up with it. Even when Garfield was talking to him, Garfield was like, dude, Jesus is documented in Roman history. The Romans hated Christians, so they ain't got no reason to lie about Jesus existing. And he Tacitus wrote about this man. This man, Tacitus, said that Jesus was crucified under one of our own Pilate. Right? Mm-hmm. He was crucified under our own. This is history. Jabari does not want Jesus to be a historical figure, because if he ever concedes that he is, all of that crap he was saying about Jesus come from horrors goes flying out the window. And he knows that. That's why he can't concede that. That's why he can't do that. That's the real reason why. I don't trust that dude, man. I don't. I ain't got nothing against him personally, but I don't trust him, because when Garfield said that to him, and I know this dude is intelligent, and he just shook his head no like a child in denial, like a child you trying to tell Santa Claus ain't real and they just don't want to hear it. That's how he reacts to the stuff Garfield's telling him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, stop this. That's why I went after him first, because I wanted to show everybody on Sarnetta TV this guy that Sarnetta is bigging up like this unbeatable, unstoppable beast. That dude is a pushover. That dude is lightweight. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why Sarnetta felt the ways about it. When I did it, I wasn't trying to hurt Sarnetta. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, you got to stop overselling these. You got to stop overselling these dudes right now. They're not really scholars like them in the country community. All they're doing is riding the coattails of deceivers that came before them. They're rehashing that same stuff. That's all they're doing. And then they make sure they invoke these. I remember when Dr. Ben passed, God rest that man's soul. Everybody in the country community, every time I turned on Sarnetta TV, all these dudes trying to prove that Dr. Ben was the closest to them. No, I knew Dr. Ben the best. No, I knew Dr. Ben the best. You should have saw him. It was ridiculous. Right. I mentioned the man rest in peace. It's the reason why we write RIP on people's headstones. Because we want them to rest in peace. Y'all won't let the man rest in peace. Everybody. Shaka said I knew Dr. Ben. And now Jabari even does it. That's my teachers. And when I debate Garfield, he's not going to be debating me. He's going to be debating Dr. Ben. He's going to be debating Ashford Kwesi. You just invoking these guys. They were still wrong. I'm going to do T.S.A. videos on them too. You follow what I'm saying? They don't know what they're talking about. I'm doing it on them too. Y'all deserve better than that conscious community. Y'all deserve better. And maybe Sarnetta felt the waves because, he putting the guys out there, so it kind of makes it maybe he's thinking, I've been bigging this guy up, so now it's like he's making me accountable too when it turns out that he's false. That wasn't my intention. Your platform is big. You got a lot of people watching you. So don't get shocked when people start going after your guys. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. People start fact-checking your guys. Don't get shocked. Jabari, he was wrong for what he did. And because he knows people in the conscious community don't know how to fact-check or even care to fact-check, he said all that nonsense because he thought he could get away with it. And he did get away with it for the longest. Until one day, I just happened to be looking at that video. I said, you know what? Nah, no more. But that's it. You got anything else you want to
before I get off here, I never hear them. I know they heard of the parallels between Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy. So, I'm gonna give a list. Like Abraham Lincoln was elected in Congress in 1846. Kennedy was elected in Congress in 1946. Lincoln was president in 1860. Kennedy was elected president in 1960. Kennedy and Lincoln each had 7 letters in their name. Lincoln had a secretary named Kennedy. Kennedy had a secretary named Lincoln. Both were married in their 30s. Both 24 years old. Socially prominent both socially prominent girls who spoke fluent French. So both their secretaries spoke French. Both of them married in their 30s to their in the 30s. Let me see. Both presidents dealt with civil rights movements for African Americans. Both presidents were assassinated in the back of the head while sitting next to their wives on a Friday before a major holiday. Both their assassins were known by 3 names consisting of 15 letters: John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald. Oswald shot Kennedy from a warehouse and was captured in a theater. Booth shot Lincoln in a theater and was captured in a warehouse. So all these parallels between these 2 presidents, would they dare to say that Kennedy did not exist because he parallels a previous Abraham Lincoln story?
No, but see, here's the thing, though. There's only one problem with your comparison between Abraham Lincoln and Kennedy versus Horace and Jesus. You know what the problem is, Hava? Your parallels are factual.
Yeah, you got everything.
Everything you say is factual.
Yep.
Your stuff is factual. The comparisons they draw up between Jesus and Horace are not factual. Horace was not born of a virgin. Horace did not have 12 disciples. Horace was not called the light of the world. Horace did not die and was dead for 3 days and resurrected. This all the stuff they claim also happened to Horus. All of these are lies. Horus was not baptized by Anup the baptizer. You know what I'm saying? Horus was not called the Lamb of God. Horus was the son of a God. He was not called the son of God. He was the son of a God because his father was a God and his mother was a God. So, of course, he was a God. And in other ancient civilizations, gods gave birth to gods. So you can't try to throw that on anybody like, oh, this place real, because that existed in all ancient mythology. So you can't say that place right. But all that other stuff, they're saying Horus was born on December 25th. Jesus was born on December 25th. First of all, the Bible don't say Jesus was born on December 25th. And ancient Kemet don't say that Horus was born on December 25th. See, the difference is you showed that even when parallels are identical, that still does not prove that one copied the other, even when it's factually identical. But in their case, they're not even factually identical. You're making up stuff. So that's even worse.
Yeah, that comparison to me kills their whole thing. I even found two more. Look, both assassins were shot and killed by a Colt revolver, and both presidents were succeeded by vice presidents named Johnson, and both of the Johnsons were from the South. One born 1808, and the other one born 1908. So I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Near a dozen similarities between Lincoln and Kennedy, and they're all factual.
Right. Yeah. But when it comes to Jesus, they make up stuff. Now, does Jesus and Horus have anything in common? Yeah, they both had trouble when they were first born. Both of them was considered royalty. You know what I'm saying? And both, but that's not enough to establish that the Jesus story came from Horus, especially when you prove that Jesus was a historical figure. Because once you prove that Jesus was a historical figure, there's no way a historical figure can be a copycat of a mythology. There's no way. Unless you claim that while he was actually living, he tried to personify the horror story. But why would he do that? You follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Why would he do that? Why would a guy raised after Hebrew Israelite try to personify the horror story? Especially when the elders of his day despised anything non-Hebrew. Mm-hmm. The Pharisees and Sadducees, they weren't trying to hear that crap. He was a historical figure. And that's the reason why in the conscious community, that's the number one thing that Jabari and even Sal himself worked overtime to promote, that Jesus did not actually exist. I remember how upset Sal was at Zion Lex when he found out that Zion Lex changed his view and started believing that Jesus was a historical figure. You know, Zion, you don't hold out, man, yada, yada. They don't. Once that comes out, that's the beginning. That's the beginning. So you got to ask yourself, why do these guys have such a problem with Jesus being a real person? That's not going to make them believe in him any sooner. Why do they have such a problem with that? What's really going on? You got to ask yourself, why do these people work so hard to suppress that Jesus actually lived? They all do it. What's really going on? That's what I want to know. If I found out that there was an actual Osiris, which a lot of people believe, that there was an actual Osiris, they just deified him, right? That's not going to make me want to go believe in Kemet. I just say, okay, so he was a god, and they started worshiping him as a god. That's historical. A lot of ancient rulers were deified by their followers. They made their followers deify them, in fact, right? That's not going to make me want to go to Kemet and worship Osiris just because I found out he was an actual man. So why is it that they want to suppress real hard that Jesus was an actual person? Because that's a domino effect. Because he was an actual person, maybe all the other stuff that they said about Jesus was true.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true, yes. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I was looking more into Gerald Massey when he referenced a memorial and say that in that memorial, Horus had 12 followers, like Christ had 12 disciples. But in that very same painting, when you count it doesn't even add up to 12.
Exactly.
That's why he was an amateur
they making all this stuff up.
Yeah.
They making all this stuff up, man. That's why I would get anybody from Salnetta TV who represent Kemet, who I know claim that Jesus was copied from Horus. I would get any one of them on Debate Talk for You, and we can bust open the ancient literature. I got all these books. I got the coffin text. I got the pyramid text. I got the ancient Egyptian literature. You know what I'm saying? I got the Book of the Dead, also known as the Book of Coming Forth by Day. I got all these books scattered out in front of me. Tell me to go to any one of them and show me that the Jesus story can be found in any ancient Egyptian text. They can't do it. I've been asking them to do this for over 5 years now. Nobody will do it. And Jabari is making the same claim.
Because they don't want to.
They can't. They can't. Believe me, if they could, think about it, man. You know good well they could just go into ancient literature and show that. They would have been dead. It would have been over. They can't do it because it's not in there, but yet they got thousands of people, tens of thousands of people in the country community believe in this. They just lying to these people. I understand. Okay, I get it, Jabari. You don't like Jesus. The idea of him existing, for whatever reason, it offends you. I don't know why, but it clearly does. So in your mind, you got to erase him as a person, right? But that doesn't change the fact that he existed, dude. I want to know why y'all working so hard to get rid of that Jesus existed as a person. That's all I want to know. Somebody explain that to me. That don't mean you got to believe in him. So what if it comes out?
All right, brother. I want to hold up the line for other people calling in. It was a pleasure, and I'm going to keep listening in. And you have a blessed night.
You too.
I appreciate it. We only got one more caller standing by. So, once again, we appreciate the family out there that's listening still. But one more caller, that press number 1, I should say. And after that, we're going to pretty much get some last words from my special guests. Once again, I appreciate everybody that came out. And make sure you go to subscribe to Brother Josh's YouTube channel, Truth Teacher 3010. Check out the series, Taking Shots, T.S.A. on YouTube. Make sure you check it out. Oh, by the way, Brother Josh, when is the next one coming out? For those who, checked out this one already, is there any updates on the next one?
Oh, yes. Sometime this upcoming week, I plan to have it done. Sometime this upcoming week, like sometime next week, it's gonna be coming out, and it's gonna give y'all some stuff to think about. I'm just gonna say that, because some things were said by Salnetta and Jabari about my first video. Not anything addressing the information, mind you, but just little cheap shots, you know what I'm saying, where they're trying to, I guess, undermine me or belittle me, so to speak. And I guess they think I'm not serious or I won't take this further. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just letting y'all know now that when this drops, y'all make sure y'all look at it, because I'm just going to expose to y'all what kind of people we're actually dealing with. Are we dealing with people who really trying to put out their information, or are we dealing with people that are trying to put a glass ceiling on what you know? So I'll let y'all be the judge of that. That's why I like these peer reviews, Sal. I let the people judge.
There we go. There we go. All right, let's go to the last caller. And once again, I appreciate the family out there that's tuning in. Let's go to 315. You're live. 315. You're live.
Peace. This sound mine again. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're loud and clear.
All right, cool. Yeah. So I was just listening, and when Josh was talking about Dr. Ben and Ashrar Kwesi and all of the people that the conscious community looks up to, but that Jabari references, I remember in Syracuse University, and I was in summer school with all of the, pretty much, I'll take some summer classes, but these summer classes are pretty much for like athletes. So I was in there with basketball players and football players and stuff, and it was an African American Studies 101. And they don't really take summer classes serious, so it's like you can get the athletes in there, they can get their grade and everything to bring their grades up and all of that. And I was in there because I was a senior and I was just trying to finish, and I had some classes I wanted to make up, so I had to go take them in a full semester. So I was in his class, and it was African American Studies 101, and the professor was a PhD in African American history, and he also wrote like several books on like the transatlantic slave trade or the Middle Passage, and all of these other African diaspora, historical events. So I was probably like 2-3 years into the scriptures, and I was like really heavy into the conscious community at that time, because this was around the time of the debate between the Hebrews and conscious community. And I had a lot of information from pretty much the House of Consciousness, so I brought that information into class. And like I said, this was like basketball players and football players and people who was like seniors and all that. So it wasn't the professor. When I brought him this information, he had seen that I was kind of like studied a little bit, and he had pulled me to the side and just gave me different information on Dr. Ben Ashwar Kwesi and all that stuff. He was basically saying he studied those same people as well, and he has basically, well, the information that they had wasn't really up to scholarly standards. It was more so, he basically said it was hearsay, like passed down from generation to generation verbally. And he was basically trying to say that, those dudes was basically inaccurate in their stances. They was helpful, but they wasn't up to par. So when Josh was just talking about Dr. Ben and how he's going to do a series on, those scholars as well, nothing personal, but the information has to come into question as well. So I just found that interesting, because a scholar who had a PhD, who is in academia, who has wrote books, who actually is teaching the literature, has also, did a peer review and fact-checked Dr. Ben Ashwar Kwesi and all these other African-American scholars in the so-called House of Consciousness who they really look up to. So that's just another, example as to, we really need to go back behind these people and check and see what they're saying, because if we just take them for face value, we could be misleading a lot of people with their information, because it really doesn't stand the test of criticism, and it doesn't stand, the standard of academia in the college world. So I just wanted to share that information, because I felt that was real interesting what Josh said he was going to do a series on them as well. Again, it's nothing personal against Dr. Ben and Ashwar Kwesi or none of the scholars. They did the best they could with the information that they had. But like I said, you still got to go back and fact check those who you put in positions of power and those who you put in positions of highest esteem, who you call an authority, because they could be giving you the wrong information. So just, continue to go back and fact check people. That's all.
Praise God.
We appreciate the call. All right, family. So once again, we appreciate everybody. Brother Josh, as usual, you're a Debate Talk for your original. Anytime you come on, of course, it's a pleasure. And like I said, family, just follow the brother on YouTube, Truth Teacher 3010. I have all the links in the description box on YouTube. We will be in the comment section and in the description box. Make sure you check out the new series, Taking Shots, T.S.A. Check that out. Our brother Josh, last words.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it brief. Just appreciate everybody coming out to listen and all the support that I've been getting from my Hebrew brothers and sisters. Like I said, shout out to Priest Daniel Allah and Lions of Israel. Shout out to FOPE Israelites, Judah and FOPE Israelites. Shout out to Black Jesus Minister. A special shout out to Black Jesus Minister. Let me tell y'all why. Black Jesus Minister called in on Final of the show and told him like it is. That man gave me big props. I got mad respect for Black Jesus Minister, man. He came in and he laid it down. He gave me a push to the moon, as they say. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate that. I wish he could have called in tonight. I actually wanted him to do this show with me, but I guess he had other stuff he had to do. So if anybody get in touch with him, tell him that, what I'm saying, I was giving him mad props. Shout out to Garfield Reed for, live streaming the video, and also for just, believe it or not, fighting the good fight. Even though he ain't no Christian, he don't want nothing to do with being a Christian, but he's still fighting our fight for us, whether he realizes it or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, proving that Jesus did exist, because that's the first step to accepting him, first believing that he actually did walk this earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's why they working overtime in the conscious community to promote the illusion that he didn't. So, shout out to my man, Garfield Reed. You know what I'm saying? Like, me and him ain't always seen eye to eye, but I'm telling you, man, in the last couple of years, I've seen a change in Garfield. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a change in him. Like, he's realized a lot of stuff that he was told about Kemet. And I'm not just saying this from my own, observation. He said this himself. He realized a lot of stuff he was told about Kemet, and that everything came from Kemet, and the Bible copied from Kemet, and the copycat theory he realized on his own from doing his own research that was some nonsense. So, shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? And just everybody else in the Hebrew community. Shout out to Tazar, y'all, for just giving me prompts on the video, ISUPK. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep this pressure on them because they've been putting pressure on us. I want to get to the point. This is my goal. We get to the point where they walking in one of the major cities, they see Hebrew Israelites on the corners or Christians walking, going to church. They ain't got nothing to say to us because they're afraid that somebody don't saw the T.S.A. videos. That's the point I'm trying to get up to. You walk up on them, hey man, yeah, do you believe Jesus exists? Oh yeah, you that dude who was up there talking about that misogyny in the Bible, man, you got toe up. I ain't got nothing to say to you. That's how we need to get them to that point. And with y'all help, we can do that. So again, I appreciate everybody. Shout out to Bleedo. Shout out to Chris Harris. I ain't forgot them too. Appreciate y'all coming in with y'all word of encouragement. Also, shout out to Basim of Global Media Television. He been looking out for me too. Shout out to Basim. I got a lot of folks who coming out the woodwork, who looking out and really trying to help spread this thing around, because we're gonna try to make it big so they can just step their game up. I don't want them to stop teaching. I just want them to start teaching the truth. Stop lying to the people. Just get some moral about you. But that's it. Thank you, Sal. Appreciate you having me back on. I'm going to be back, soon as I can actually do a class, So if there's nothing else, peace to everybody. I'm out.
Help keep the show on the air. If you want to help, you can send your donation through PayPal. The email is debatetalkforyou@gmail.com or through Cash App, $Sal Showtime. Thanks for your support.
Brand disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed by individuals on this platform, the callers plus invited guests, are their own. The information you hear does not reflect the overall views of all parties associated with this brand. We encourage everyone to research all things heard live or via archive for edification purposes. Discretion is advised.